Tues 56, northbound lane slow from 70 past Penn Pike. Inbound 70, stop and go. Sherman Drive to the north split. Then southbound 6570 jam north split to Washington Street because of construction. Sherman Drive at East 25th Street still flashing red because of an earlier crash this morning that resulted in a fatality. The car struck the utility pole and crews are working on making repairs right now. Hopefully that'll be done late morning. Traffic sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Comcast Business is celebrating the holidays by giving your business the $1,000 holiday bonus when you switch to a gig speed internet package. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card. Like possibility number 12, the new laptop for the office holiday hero. Or possibility number 108, smart speakers to deck those hallways. Or possibility number 192, new equipment for the new year. Or possibility number 555, Bluetooth holiday lights for office decor. Switch to Comcast Business, designed for 100% reliability with business internet and wireless connect, plus advanced cybersecurity, and now get the $1,000 holiday bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 12/14/25. New customers only with 2-year agreement. Requires qualifying gig package. Other restrictions apply.
It's B Windows' biggest sale of the year. Get up to 68% off plus no interest, no payments for 24 months. Call now or go to bwindow.com.
Trust me.
The forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Morning fog, otherwise cloudy and chilly for the rest of the day. A high of 47. Cloudy skies, some areas of fog developing overnight. A low down to 43. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Marcus Bailey, 93 WIBC.
And I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com. Kendall and Casey starts now.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
I'm getting a shirt made.
You are? What kind of shirt? What are you talking about?
I got to give full credit to our pal, Indie Reporter. He came up with the slogan, and I said, I'm going with it.
You got a personal stylist?
It says, Bon Voyage.
Yeah.
Because after yesterday, the governor of the state of Indiana, Dunzo.
Oh, yeah.
Couldn't have happened to a nicer guy.
The pressure is escalating, is it not?
This is pathetic. I mean, this is like, there's always the thing that's happening. And our job in this business, by this Kendall Casey, John Rob, that's Casey. Our job is to kind of simplify all the stuff that's going down for you, the audience, but also make it relatable. And, in your life, as you watch your parents get older or maybe a grandparent get older, you watch people decline, right? And there comes a moment a lot of times where it's obvious whatever thing they're in or thing they're doing, they just can't do that, right? And so for most of whether it's our parents or grandparents,
yeah,
it doesn't mean they're in bad health. It doesn't mean they're, right? Like it doesn't mean you need to put them in a nursing home. It just means they just can't do things they once did.
I think about my mom when I visited her and she said that she was leaving the iron on accidentally. And we said, maybe it's time to stop ironing your clothes then.
You're just like, somebody's got to watch this person more than they did. And that's what it felt like yesterday with Braun, where it's this kind of defeated old guy who is totally in over his head. He has a long-standing habit of writing checks with his mouth that his actions can't cash. He just went through this 6 months ago with his signature issue of the campaign, which is property taxes. He failed miserably at that. And now here he is trying to do it again. He's getting basically the same result, only unlike with us, where he was just screwing the people with his failure, now in his mind, he's screwing Donald Trump because it seems like he has told Trump he is capable of doing things he is not. The same way as he told me in the summer of 24 he was capable of doing things he was not. And now yesterday, instead of just like graciously accepting defeat, he now is coming off as I will not be the Glenn Close. I will not be ignored. Dan
Fatal
character.
Attraction.
Yes, Fatal Attraction. Thank you. And Rod Bray now we are seeing in which Mike Braun is Glenn Close and Rod Bray is Michael Douglas, and now we're just like watching this pathetically sad, pleading, begging, false threatening the General Assembly, and it's like, give it up, Grandpa. It's over.
Yeah, he said that he's going to explore new ways to compel the Indiana Republican senators to act on the early congressional redistricting.
What's he going to do? Arrest them? What's he going to do?
Is that a possibility?
Well, I don't know.
Make him show up to work?
See, this is the problem. Like, it's like Grandpa's not processed. Again, what did I say, right? Like, it doesn't mean he should be in a home, but he shouldn't be on this stage because they're not in special session anymore. Yesterday was the beginning of the regular session. So any leverage he might have had, I mean, they played him masterfully. They drug it out.
Yeah, they were trying to play out the clock.
And then they said, once Braun calls a special session, they being the leadership of the General Assembly, like one of my favorite things about this is Todd Houston, the Speaker of the House, is trying to come off as the good guy and all this. Like, well, the House says the votes. We're ready to go. To blah, blah, blah.
Is it good cop, bad cop?
Rod Bray and Todd Houston, the Flanders boys, they share a brain and a heart and all other vital functioning organs. They are totally working together on everything. There's no way they're not in simpatico on this. And yet, Braun, so those two guys strung this thing out for a month. Braun calls the special session first in November, which Braun did that to himself by dragging this thing out. He should have just ripped the Band-Aid off months ago if he was going to do it. And then they say, okay, yeah, we'll see you 1st of December. And now Rod Bray is like, well, you're not in charge anymore, are you, Mr. Braun? Because session has begun. I'm the captain of this ship now.
That's right.
And we ain't coming back.
So here's Todd Houston telling everybody that they need to keep their first 2 weeks clear for potential business.
I would remind members that we are still under the timeline of the special session. I have informed the House Republican Caucus that I would continue to keep the first 2 weeks of December clear on your calendars for potential business.
Okay, so what nobody's answered, though, is how can you be in a special session if you've started the session? That's what Org Day is. So that doesn't... Look, this ultimately rests with Mike Braun. Because Mike Braun, and we found this out the hard way. So just when you're hearing my voice right now, this is from experience. Mike Braun is not a leader. He's not really a fighter. He is a guy who essentially used his immense wealth to buy a U.S. Senate seat, which then he was able to spin off into being governor of the state of Indiana. Mike Braun tries to cast himself as an outsider. If you look at his career arc, he's a total insider politician. He went the way so many of them do: school board, state house, states, U.S. Senate, governor. Right? He's a total institutionalist, and he's not capable of delivering because the General Assembly, especially the leadership, views him and his wacky, goofy lieutenant governor as an unserious joke. And so he keeps trying to strong-arm these guys with zero cards, with zero leverage, and he's making himself look stupid.
So the Senate voted 29-18 to return on January 5th. And so Bray is saying, no, we're going to do what we want to do. Now, the governor was on with Hammer and Nigel yesterday, and they asked him his thoughts on what Bray is doing. And Kevin, clip number 4, if you could grab that, because he sounded like he was getting a little spicy. He was a little irritated, but at the same time, a little bit intimidated by Donald Trump. It was a really interesting arc because he started out really strong, and then he was like, but you got to do what the president wants to do. So here is the governor talking about Bray.
I would be more concerned about what you're doing when the president of the United States calls you out for something that he's made very clear that he wants to get it done. And I think that is probably more troublesome when it would be what his future is like. And today was a lot of action, Org Day. And as we were talking earlier, and I don't think you knew that, but the House is coming back to do maps, and they're coming in. So they're going to be sending something over to the Senate. And then a rebuke of half his caucus when they had that vote on whether to come back or not, and he had to get Democrats to go along with him to have the vote scheduled or to come back into session in January. So 19 were on the roll call against him, and another senator didn't make the roll call vote that said he would. So that's half of his caucus.
Okay, all right. This word salad, right? Like this. Okay, first of all, Donald Trump's not a king. He's the president of the United States. And the fact that we're somehow subservient to him here in Indiana, that is that's ridiculous. And it's bizarre that the governor of our state believes he's subservient to the president of the United States. Like, that's super weird and should be a giant red flag to everybody. The second part of this is at this point, the mental gymnastics he's doing. Well, almost half of his caucus was against him. Yeah, and more than half of his caucus was for him. You couldn't even win amongst the Republicans, Mr. Governor, much less when you factor in the rest of this of the Senate. Like, it was this, like, just the bizarre, I will compel you, or I'm pondering compelling. Like, get a life, dude. And I keep coming back to that he can't fathom the idea of why people would be upset with him, that if you'd have done this on property taxes, you would be a hero, and there would be so many people right now who would be behind you who are not, because they would say, this guy is a fighter. He does care about us. This is about us. But Mike Braun proved it's not about us. It's not about the people. It's about him. It's about his party. And as he said yesterday, this is about Donald Trump. And people look at that and go, well, then I'm out, because it's supposed to be about me. The government's supposed to be about helping me. It's about creating an environment for me to thrive. And all the government here in this state appears to be about is the donors, the lobbyists, the power brokers, the party, and now the president of the United States.
Okay, so yesterday during that Hammer and Nigel interview, they did ask him why the battle for this, but not for property taxes.
So the battle was picked by the president in terms of doing it. And Texas did it, Missouri did it, North Carolina did it. So you should be able to put 2 and 2 together there. And they asked us to do it, and it was probably 3 months ago, and we were picking them off in a way that had an organic process to it. Time became an issue when I saw that Bray looked like he was going to try to run out the clock. That is when I decided to call a special session, because at that point, both the White House and our accounting showed us at 21 to 22 senators, 14 public, 6 or 7 private yes. That is the move that he made that I think was a mistake, because he thought by not doing it, he then could delay it or it doesn't get done. That is what irritated the president. It irritated me. And picking the battle on property taxes, you got to remember, that was SB 1. Then he and his leadership team gutted it. So we had to spend 3 months to get it back to where it was. Didn't please everyone. But
We got to go to a break.
Okay.
I'm gonna have a brain hemorrhage during the break, and then I'm going to put this guy in his place.
Okay.
Because I've had enough of him. And that right there is why this thing's going to fail. And it all comes back to the same thing, Casey. He, the governor of this state, is a habitual liar. He would not know the truth if it smacked him right between the eyes. So we'll take a break. I'm going to go for a walk.
Okay, good idea.
And we'll talk about that when we come back.
It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Tony Katz.
The Affordable Care Act is not affordable, and the people who claim it's affordable now tell you that we have to pay subsidies in order to make it affordable for the people. Now, there was some talk that Democrats were going to try and engage some level of delay, air traffic controllers not getting paid, military not getting paid, and children starving in order to get their political way. And they think that that's progress. Children were going hungry, I was told.
Tony Katz, mornings 6 to 9 on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
Greetings from R&R Agency, your Indiana health insurance pros, and a sincere thank you to our loyal customers for helping us to another record year. We recently saved a 62-year-old retiring couple over $800 monthly when compared to their COBRA offerings. We recently saved a family of 4 over $400 monthly when compared to their $7,500 deductible program on the ACA, and you know that's still Obamacare. We recently saved a small 4-man manufacturing company over $1,000 monthly and gave them better coverage. We feature coverages guaranteed to age 65, low out-of-pocket expenses, the largest networks in the country, and you can sign up anytime. If you are retiring early, self-employed, or need coverage for your small group, call us at 317-563-0868 or go to rragency.org. If you don't call us, we can't help you. What do you got to lose? Call us 317-563-0868 or go to rragency.org. As always, God bless America, common sense government, and peace too strict.
What if you could have reliable and intelligent Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. 5 years of Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to the devices that need them most. That finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. And that keeps you gaming in the fast lane, even when the whole family's banking on bandwidth. All your devices working in perfect harmony for 5 whole years. And here's the best part. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Hey, let's face it, a lot can change in 5 years. Kids grow taller, dreams grow bigger. But your Wi-Fi? It would stay reliable and the price would stay put. The Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity. Imagine that. Select plans only. Restrictions apply.
Do you remember what was happening in America? Families struggling, billions in wasteful spending. But Senator Todd Young fought back. He voted for working family tax cuts, and Senator Young voted to crack down on waste, fraud, and abuse, saving taxpayers billions. So call Senator Todd Young at 202-224-5623 and thank him for supporting the Working Families Tax Cut. Paid for by American Prosperity Alliance.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Taxes was feeling unwelcome. Now Taxes is an open door, literally, to new TurboTax stores. Meet our experts in person.
Hi, welcome in.
They're powered by smart tech and ready to do your taxes for you. Get real-time updates while you go about your day. Confident your taxes are done right. Now this is Taxes. Intuit TurboTax. TurboTax stores opening soon. Real-time updates only in iOS mobile app.
From military life to a rewarding career in IT, kickstart your new journey in a matter of months in the fields of IT and cybersecurity, including AI. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including VA benefits.
Express the heartwarming message that says love is about being together. Let a Pierce Jewelers diamond engagement ring be the symbol that says I love you. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
This hour powered by Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's diamond engagement ring store.
The governor's inability to relay the truth, grasp it, remember it, I don't know what it is, but it is almost a daily basis with this dude about just telling things that are just patently false or contradicting yourself. This is the bigger issue because it affects every issue, right? Like, we're to focus on redistricting right now.
Yeah.
It's Kendall Casey show, by the way. I'm Rob. That's Casey. But so before we went to break, we played that clip of him talking about dealing with the redistricting versus property taxes and why he's like so much more passionate about redistricting, which only helps Donald Trump, versus property tax, which would have helped millions of people, which he claimed was his signature issue, and he folded like an accordion on that when Bray stood up to him and said, I'm not doing it. But now this redistricting, he won't let it go.
Sure.
And what this like revisionist history stuff where he's talking about Bray running out the clock and I had to call the special session because Bray wasn't doing what I wanted or what Trump wanted. From the very beginning, Casey, did he not say it was a choice of the General Assembly? Did he not say I will not call a special session unless the General Assembly tells me the votes are there?
He did. And then he changed it.
Except this is my point. It's the Homer Simpson line. I guess some people never change or quickly change and then quickly change right back. It's another lie by Braun. Because he's a gutless coward. I'm reminded of the line from Ghostbusters. Is this true? I'm afraid it is, Your Honor. This man has no stick, except he doesn't say stick. He says a word I can't say on family-friendly airwaves. Braun has no stick. He's a coward, and he thought those guys, because he didn't want the smoke from the media, were going to eventually get pressured into doing it. So he goes, I'll let them take it.
Right.
It's their choice.
And then it didn't happen.
And now he tries to turn them in the bad guys for doing Look, I'm loath to defend Rod Bray for any reason. But Braun is the one who is lying here. Bray has been consistent. The votes are not there.
Right.
We don't want to do this. You can dislike the opinion of somebody, but in terms of honesty, Braun is the one who has been caught lying again, just like on property taxes.
He said he's now left with no choice other than to explore all options at his disposal to compel the state Senate to show up and vote. And he added that he will support President Trump's effort to recruit, endorse, and finance primary challengers for Indiana senators.
No. This is the same guy. This is the same guy that last year, I went over to state party headquarters last summer, when they were desperate for our endorsement. They were desperate for us to endorse them in their run for governor. And one of the things they told me is, don't you worry, man. We got this political action committee, and they're gonna spend all this money. If these lawmakers don't get in line, it's gonna be great, man. We got an army behind us. Okay, cool. It's his issue. He's the incoming governor. They got this PAC that's supposed to be helping him out. It'll be awesome. And for one day, that PAC existed, and they started running those ads. I said, all right, here comes the boom. And then a day later, they pulled all the ads and started running ads telling them to thank these same people because they aren't fighters, and they got told, you better knock that off or we're going to take every part of your agenda down, not just property taxes. And they folded. It's Braun who doesn't follow through on stuff. Let's play this clip again. This is fascinating to me about him talking about why he didn't fight Bray on property taxes.
So this was yesterday afternoon on the Hammer and Nigel program, the #1 rated show in all of Indianapolis. And they asked him why this battle on redistricting, but not property taxes. And here is the governor's answer.
Picking the battle on property taxes, you got to remember, that was SB 1. Then he and his leadership team gutted it. Right. So we had to spend 3 months to get it back to where it was. Didn't please everyone, but most people, when they know that their home's going to be exempted, 66% of it in 5 years, and you couldn't have jerked the money away immediately. The loudest complainers are Republican local government officials, believe it or not. So that was the best we were going to get. It wasn't worth starting over, and you can see why, because look who we're dealing with. This guy is now digging in against the President of the United States, the VP, and look what he's doing. And he's cornering himself in a place that is not good.
Oh, okay. So, first of all, to Mike Braun, the whole summer and winter and during the session, I repeatedly asked them, what do you need from us? Both Braun and his wacky, goofy lieutenant governor. What do you need from us with the Senate? Once we knew it was emanating out of the Senate, what do you need from us? Letters? Do you need calls? Whatever it is. No, we got this, man. Told them, I'll meet with them. No. It's all going to be fine. You're kind of controversial, so we don't want to risk, upsetting the apple cart. If you get involved, it'll be, we got this, man. It's all fine. The same people that Micah and Braun are now ripping on as the worst people in the world, I was told how great they were. How when it came to, they're fine, man. These are our boys. These are our guys. We got this. It's going to be fine. You got nothing. Because those guys in the Senate, they know what jokes you are. They know how ridiculous you are. They're not doing anything. So for him to go on Hammer and Nigel and give this revisionist bullcrap version of his, I'm trying not to say something's going to get me in trouble. It is insulting to the 7 million people of this state, and that is the issue. The habitual lying that comes from these people's mouths over and over and over again.
We've got Adam Wren from Politico in Importantville who's going to join us next, and we will continue this conversation. You're listening to Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
giant list of reasons why I trust Window Nation. They did such an awesome job replacing the windows in the front of my house. My old, drafty, cracked windows. Came in within a day, put in some new windows, left my house cleaner than before the install. Recently ranked highest on Forbes' list of best window installation companies. So you know you can trust Window Nation for high-quality, affordable windows.
They have an A-plus rating from the Better Business Bureau. They have got over 45,000 five-star reviews, and they've came out to my house. I trust Window Nation. You can trust Window Nation. They are the best in the business, but you need to hurry. The sale ends soon. 50% off all window styles and 0 interest financing for 5 years. Schedule a fast and free estimate right now at windownation.com. windownation.com.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
He's wanting the banks to talk. Cloudy, 42 in downtown Indy with a high today in the upper 40s. I'm Jarrett Lewis. Here's what's trending at 9:30, brought to you by Window Nation. House Oversight Committee Chairman and Republican Congressman James Comer issuing subpoenas to multiple banks, including J.P. Morgan Chase, demanding all financial records related to the late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Congressman Comer told Fox Business' Mornings with Maria they want to help bring justice for the victims and take down anyone who took part in these horrific crimes.
These are some of the worst crimes I've ever seen inflicted on young women, and it just doesn't seem like the federal government over the past 2 decades did anything to help these victims.
This comes after the House and Senate almost unanimously passed a resolution ordering the Justice Department to publicly release all files connected to Epstein. President Trump said he plans to sign the bill. There's a redistricting fight down in Texas, too. The state is fighting back after a federal court blocked them from using its newly drawn congressional map in the midterm elections.
The 3-judge panel, including a Trump appointee who went against the president, ruled there is substantial evidence showing Texas racially gerrymandered the 2025 map. Now, this ruling is a setback to President Trump's efforts to preserve a slim Republican majority ahead of the 2026 elections. Texas immediately filed an appeal with the U.S. Supreme Court, with Governor Greg Abbott and other Republicans publicly defending the map, which made 5 districts in the state more favorable to Republicans. But the district court ruling sides with those who argue that redistricting would harm Black and Hispanic residents.
Fox's Todd Pirro reporting the Trump administration and DOJ are also suing to stop California's redistrict map from taking effect. And the Trump administration announcing more steps in their plan to dismantle the federal Department of Education. This includes moving some K-12 and college programs to the Labor Department. Your opening bell report on 93 WIBC, brought to you by Absolute Wealth Management. Stocks a little change. The Dow's down 15 points, 46,091. The S&P 500 is up 5.5 points to 6,617. And the NASDAQ is in the green, 41 points, 24,503. I'm Jarrett Lewis, on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
Guys, you've heard of TRT, but you have no idea what testosterone can do for you. Once you start treatment, you'll wish you'd done it sooner.
Now you can take the TRT test free at Synergen X and the Low T Center. Walk in before 10 a.m. or book ahead at fixmylowt.com.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, hiya, Phantom.
Mike, is it true?
What's that?
Tire Discounters is offering up to $200 off sets of Goodyear tires?
Absolutely.
Plus free alignment and a full synthetic oil change?
You got it.
I'm not one to exaggerate, but that may be the best deal in the history of the world.
But free would be better.
Mike, don't toy with me.
Through the holidays, every day we're open, someone will get their money back on 4 tires.
But I...
Just breathe, Phantom. Breathe.
No purchase necessary. Ends 12/31/25. Visit website for details.
The best AI for your business isn't artificial. It's advisor intelligence. With Horizon, you get real people to help you drive real growth. Open your business account today at horizonbank.com/businessai. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Nobody cares for you like family. Family Heating and Air.
Hey, this is Malia. We often get asked when is the best time to buy, and the answer is today, not tomorrow. With rising utility costs, rising product costs, and missed opportunity costs, which you could be saving with a high-efficiency system. Give us a call today to schedule your free in-depth estimate, 317-577-8077.
Family Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Food insecurity is an urgent problem, one that impacts real Hoosiers. You can help today. Gleaners needs donations. Your contribution goes further with Gleaners. For every $10 you give, Gleaners leverages their resources to turn your $10 into $90 worth of groceries for families who desperately need help right now. Your gift benefits local community members, and every dollar counts. Gleaners also needs volunteers now to help with warehouse distribution. Go to gleaners.org and donate or get involved today.
David was in big trouble with the IRS.
At first, I didn't owe that much, but after this year, it was out of control.
Then David called Get a Tax Lawyer.
Right away, they were like, oh yeah, looks like you're qualified to save.
Get a Tax Lawyer went to work.
Should have called way sooner.
Get a Tax Lawyer has helped thousands like David fight the IRS and get a fresh start.
Call 800-745-3070. That's 800-745-3070.
It's time. You've been putting off that kitchen or bath remodel long enough. What are you waiting for? Get started today with Boer Remodeling. Boer Remodeling customer Kathy had a bath remodel with Boer. Kathy, talk a little bit about your experience.
Our experience with Boer has been terrific. The process was so easy and seamless. When we decided to do a larger remodel of our first floor, Boer was the first company we thought of hiring.
And were you happy with the results?
The results are amazing, and we are so happy with our home and the work that Boer did.
Peter is another recent Boer Remodeling customer with a new kitchen. Peter, what was the best part about working with Boer?
We especially liked the active participation that we were able to have in selection of stone for the countertops. Really came out beautiful. The cabinets also came out very, very well.
The best materials, the most skilled craftsmen in Central Indiana. They'll guide you through the entire process. Start with a free consultation. Talk to Boer Remodeling today. That's BOOHER, BoerRemodeling.com.
There goes the last DJ who plays what he wants to play and says what he wants to say.
Casey, was a wild day at the State House yesterday.
Yeah, there was a lot going on.
And we've got someone who's there with a bird's eye view.
Mm-hmm.
Friend of the show, Politico in Portonville, covers Indiana politics and government for the nation. Adam Wren joins us now. Adam Wren, hello.
Good to be with you. Thanks for having me.
All right, so you were there yesterday, and Casey and I started the program with this. It seems like Braun is in full meltdown mode at this point. You've covered a lot of governors, a lot of high-profile politicians. Have you ever seen someone respond to adversity like Braun, where he almost comes off as like Glenn Close, I will not be ignored, Dan?
Well, Rob, what I think is most interesting about this is the oscillating approach he's taken over the last 3 months to this issue. You know, early on, he was deferential to the legislature. He said, the legislature needed to be on it. He would listen to them. He would give them space to figure out where they were at. At one point, he said the federal government might threaten to take away, key benefits for the state of Indiana or nix federal projects. Then he sort of walked that back. And then, yesterday we saw him in full ramp-up mode, where he in some ways was acting like a wounded animal, in the sense that he was lashing out at people close to him, and he has not had a great relationship with the Senate and just his first year in the administration. And I think the sentiment from the Braun's office at this point is, look, we're either going to get new maps or we're going to get a new Senate. And
wow.
And he essentially affirmed that yesterday when he said that he, in a press release after the adjournment, that essentially he would back and finance primaries to anybody who opposed mid-cycle redistricting.
Now, what's fascinating about that, and I know Casey wants to hop in here, though, this is the same spiel he gave me last summer, though, when he was courting our support, and he said, don't worry, man, we got all this money we're going to spend. We got these outside political action groups or whatever. They're going to spend all this money on property taxes. How'd that work out?
Yeah, didn't materialize.
Go ahead.
So, Adam, I'm curious because Governor Braun said, now I'm left with no other choice than to explore all options at my disposal to compel the state Senate to show up and vote. How is he going to compel them to do that? What authority or power does he have?
Well, if you look at Senate Rule 1, there have been some changes made to the law after the 2011 Democratic walkout, where they fled to Illinois during the debate over right to work. But essentially, he has a tool like fines that he can fine Senate Republicans who don't show up. And there's some conversation about what it might look like, and this feels sort of like the nuclear option, as if yesterday wasn't already nuclear enough. But there's some talk about whether or not he could use the Indiana State Police to round up people and get them to the State House. The language in Senate Rule 1 requires 25 senators to show up for a quorum, and then they can take a vote to compel their colleagues to come to Indianapolis, and that would get the Indiana State Police involved. But it was interesting to me. You have to wonder how much Speaker Todd Huston is bluffing here when he came out yesterday and said, told lawmakers to keep their schedule open in the first 2 weeks of December. I mean, that is not a definitive statement that we're going to be back here. They did adjourn until January 5th, rather, and it's interesting. I mean, you wonder, have Houston and Bray are never really split apart, and they were yesterday, and you wonder how much of this was telegraphed to each other. I saw Houston briefly whisper to Bray earlier in the day at an event for baby boxes in the State House, and they sat by each other. Interestingly enough, Bray sat to the left of Houston, who sat to the left of Braun. So I thought that was an interesting ideological metaphor here on this issue. And so, you wonder how much they've talked and how much of a heads up Houston gave Bray about what he would say yesterday.
Adam Renna, Politico, also Portonville, is our guest. He was at the State House yesterday for all the fun and frivolity around redistricting. So there was the rally there, and they got, I don't know, somebody said between 30 and 50 people. It wasn't a great show. You got Diego and Mike out there leading the charge. Where have you seen anything that shows these people? There are all these people that actually want it, Adam, because the polling doesn't show it, the town halls haven't showed it, this rally didn't show it. Where are all of these people who supposedly want this?
Well, I'm told the public polling that we've seen so far doesn't show it, but that there's private polling exists that shows that it is popular among the Republican base. Those polls have not yet leaked. Stay tuned to see if they will. But I think that, it was a pretty dismal showing for pro-redistricting people. And, you hear people say, well, Republicans who want this actually have jobs to show up to during the day, as if no one, as if it's, 1945 and, vacation days don't exist for things that are priorities to you. So I do think it shows a lack of grassroots support for this, in a way that people are clamoring for it. And I think it's a real problem for people who are launching primaries just this week against incumbent Senate Republicans who are counting on this to remain, such a feverish issue among the base into next May, that it will compel people to show up for them at the primaries and boost them over their opponents. It doesn't, we just saw 2 weeks ago that disengaged, Trump voters do not show up in elections where Trump is not on the ballot. And unfortunately for these folks, Trump is not going to be on the ballot next May when Indiana has its primary.
Do you get a feeling that, because Bray's been very nice so far to Braun, he has not returned the favor. Do you get a feeling at some point Bray's going to be like, I'm the boss around here, you go squish, Grandpa?
I don't think so. And if you look at President Trump's True Social feed, you'll see that he called him a quote gentleman, end quote, as if that's a bad thing to be these days. But I think that's exactly, what Bray is. He did not return anger or scorn with the like. He was sort of diplomatic, gentle, and we have had no indication over the last 7 years that he will do anything other than that throughout this entire time. I mean, he's been very thoughtful. He's been very reserved, quiet. Yesterday, when he took questions from the press, is the most we've heard him talk in 3 months since this started. The same is true of Houston. They have remarkably not spoken about this in public. And so it was just a really fascinating day to watch these big personalities all collide against each other at the State House.
Adam Wren is joining us from Politico and Importantville. I'm wondering if we could turn our direction down south and you could speak on the judge ordering the state of Texas to use their 2021 boundaries.
This couldn't have been a worse development for the White House. Within an hour or so of having the Indiana General Assembly all but thumb their nose at the White House, too. I mean, this puts massive pressure on Indiana to respond in kind here. This essentially wipes out, potentially, if it may go to the Supreme Court, this potentially wipes out any effective gain that Republicans had in the redistricting wars, and quite frankly could result in a net loss of seats. So Governor Gavin Newsom looks pretty sharp here in all of this, and the White House looks pretty rough because essentially you're going to have Illinois sort of watching closely what Indiana is going to do, probably not going to act given what happened yesterday at the State House. But we've had 4 Republican states now, Nebraska, New Hampshire, Ohio, Indiana, all sort of, thumb their noses at the White House's mid-cycle redistricting scheme. And what happened with Texas, I mean, that is absolutely brutal. What was looking like a +5 seats for the GOP in a midterm election where you might just need 3 seats to make the difference in who controls the House of Representatives, that was washed out. And, there's going to be an appeal likely from the White House's allies and Texas Republicans. But this is not looking good for the GOP ahead of them.
All right, got about 20 seconds left before we let you go. Gambling not legal on politics in this country, but if it were, if you and I went to the Shelbyville Casino, Adam Wren, and you had to bet yes, it will happen or no, it won't, will Indiana ultimately redistrict their maps?
Well, I'm going to borrow a line from Speaker Todd Houston yesterday and say that my crystal ball is broken.
Find him over at Politico, also in Portenville. Adam Wren, where else can they find you on the social media?
Yeah, just at Adam Wren, Wren like the bird, on X.
All right, thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel show back at it this afternoon. Tony Kennett, the Tonus from the Daily Signal. He's calling in, plus the latest from the Indiana State House. A lot of drama. 93 WIBC.
You get up early on snow days because snowed in is not an option. The Kubota snow lineup of compact tractors, RTVs, and versatile attachments are built to thrive in the winter. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment with 0% financing available or save up to $5,250. Now through December 31st. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Stop by McAllister Machinery in Indianapolis to see their full line of Kubota or visit them online at McAllisterKubota.com.
Transform your home with Galaxy Concrete Coatings. You can say goodbye to cracked, stained, and dirty old floors and hello to durable, stunning surfaces that last. Their cutting-edge technology ensures a beautiful finish every time, and you get to pick out the color. Upgrade your home today by calling Galaxy Concrete Coatings. They're for garage floors, driveways, pool decks, and patios. And they come with a lifetime warranty and one-day professional installation. The phone number, 877-417-0635. You can find them online, too. GalaxyConcreteCoatings.com.
Complete your magnificent holiday meal this year with a beautiful centerpiece from Gillespie Florists. Create warm memories for those at your picturesque holiday table. Gillespie Florist has been celebrating the holidays with Indiana families since 1960. Gillespie has single candle centerpieces starting at just $39.95. Choose from a variety of arrangements online at GillespieFlorist.com or call 273-1100. 273-1100. Gillespie Florists, for all the flowers in your life.
Hey guys, it's Rob for our pal Mark Deedle. You know, the Indianapolis real estate market is strong but not easy. Now is a good time to sell only if you hire a real estate team that knows how to aggressively market your home like Mark Deedle Realty. Perhaps you're worried you need costly repairs or upgrades to sell your home. Mark Deedle guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. Listen to what Neil in Indianapolis had to say about working with Mark Deedle. I had already moved and listed my old home with an agent friend for 60 days. Not happy, I decided to evaluate the Mark Deedle marketing plan, and I switched. To my relief, after about 15 days on the market, the Mark Deedle team sold my home as is for the price I needed. Call the local Indianapolis agent I trust and recommend, and the agent who guarantees your home sold or he'll buy it. Call Mark Dietel at 317-755-4232 for all the details, or go online to markdietel.com. That's Mark, Dietel.com.
The biggest Black Friday sale ever is going on now at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. Save up to $800 on top brand mattresses from Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, and Sealy. Indiana-made Smith Brothers of Bern is holding their factory-authorized sale with the lowest price in 2025 and 50% off all Flex Deal and Lazy Boy. Free delivery, cash discounts, interest-free financing. Hurry, sale ends Monday only at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
Food insecurity is an urgent problem, one that impacts real Hoosiers. You can help today. Gleaners needs donations. Your contribution goes further with Gleaners. For every $10 you give, Gleaners leverages their resources to turn your $10 into $90 worth of groceries for families who desperately need help right now. Your gift benefits local community members, and every dollar counts. Gleaners also needs volunteers now to help with warehouse distribution. Go to gleaners.org and donate or get involved today.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Join us for Downtown Indy Alliance's 63rd Annual Circle of Lights, presented by IBEW Local 481, Friday, November 28th, with live entertainment featuring acts from ISO's Yuletide celebration, the Indianapolis Children's Choir, and Clayton Anderson. Go to downtownindy.org/holidays.
It's the end of the world.
Oh, a story that we broke is back in the news again, and it's bad for Braun and his buddy.
Today is the governor's special day on the Kendall and Casey show.
Oh, I warned him. And when we parted ways, I said, you do not want to sign this property tax bill, buddy. This is going to be bad for you forever and ever and ever. And I feel like I've done my part to follow through on that pledge, Casey.
Yes, you have.
I feel like the past 6 months, I've done more than my part to follow through on that.
So on Monday, there was a meeting. It was in regards to a state law enforcement board moving forward with deciding whether Tom Kleinhelter will lose his police certification.
Okay, so you all will, many of you, longtime listeners, will know the Tom Kleinhelter story, but for those who don't, Tom Kleinhelter is the sheriff of Du Bois County, which is Mike Braun's home county. He is a very close political ally of the governor, did a big endorsement of the governor. I think he was maybe even a television ad. Him and Braun are very close. And Kleinhelter was accused of essentially misappropriating commissary money, using it for, in mass, large purchases, personal ventures, endeavors, whatever, involving his wife, trips, etc. And Doug Carter, who was the state police superintendent at the time, came on our program. We spent an hour with us, actually, detailing how that he had led, ordered, whatever, this investigation into Kleinhelter off of a report from State Board of Accounts. It resulted in an 80-page probable cause affidavit from the state police to a special prosecutor who I believe was from Orange County. The state police felt everything was going great. They were in the process of moving forward with a prosecution on this case involving Kleinhelter's actions. And then all of a sudden, Braun became the governor. Carter was out as state superintendent. I believe Anthony Scott is the guy's name who became the state police superintendent. And what do you know, Casey?
It went away.
The whole thing just went away. And there has never been a detailed or, explanation from anybody that made any sense on any of this when you're looking at an 80-page probable cause affidavit, how that could not possibly go forward. And Carter has laid out in great detail what was in the affidavit, why they felt strong about the case. And not only that, but a decorated member of the state police who was in charge of that investigation has been reprimanded, demoted,
put in the basement
since leading this investigation. And so now this law enforcement board, the Indiana Law Enforcement Academy, is moving forward what could result in a decertification of Kleinhelter, which would mean that he would essentially lose all his powers as a law enforcement officer and could not serve as a certified law enforcement officer in the state of Indiana if indeed they go forward.
Yeah, so this board, they set a timeline towards evidentiary hearings in April, and they're going to hear the case. The full board will decide whether to strip Kleinhelter of his certification. The parties agreed to exchange initial discovery by December 30th. Then they have additional discovery by late January, and then they're going to hold a 2-day hearing tentatively between April 25th and April 28th. But imagine that. That's a year and a half.
Yeah. I mean, look,
after the probable cause.
And there still has been no explanation on how, from the special prosecutor, other than basically the no kidding quote she gave to like Capital Chronicle about not filing the charges. Why? What did you see after Doug Carter stopped being state police superintendent and after Mike Braun became the governor? What did you see that changed your mind based on everything that the state police was led to believe, other than Mike Braun becoming the governor and a new person being installed as state police superintendent? Nobody has answered those questions yet, and until they do, everybody is going to think this thing totally stinks, and it appears at least this one group is moving forward with doing what they can about it.
Now, this is something to keep in mind. Even if he is decertified, he can still serve as an elected sheriff because Indiana's Constitution does not require the position to hold police certification.
But I don't think he can arrest nobody.
That's true. It is Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. If you're living with a chronic condition like diabetes, chronic heart failure, or a cardiovascular disorder, you might count on extra support with your health care too. That's why United Healthcare offers chronic special needs plans with extra benefits and a large provider network to choose from. Visit uhc.com/Medicare to find out if you qualify today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Indiana can count on. Provider network may vary in local market.
Growing your retail business is easier with Shopify Point of Sale. Shopify POS connects your entire retail store, in-store, online, and social media on one platform. It's built for how customers shop today and for how they'll shop tomorrow. The result? Smoother checkouts and deeper customer relationships that pay off and keep them coming back. Ready to grow with Shopify POS? Visit shopify.com/switch now for more details. That's shopify.com/switch now.
What's Jeff Saturday up to these days?
Retiring from football means a lot of things for a guy like me. It means more time to pick up some hobbies, like baking, puzzles, and some gardening. It also means pinching pennies. And that's why I look for unclaimed property at indianaunclaimed.gov. Look, it's your money, and they want you to have it. So check indianaunclaimed.gov or text Jeff to 46220 and search now.
Truck drivers, the holiday rush is here. Take advantage by becoming a Schneider driver. By driving for one of America's busiest carriers, you'll stay busy during the holiday season and throughout the new year. Plus, as a Schneider driver, you'll have access to top quality driver support and newer equipment spec'd with the latest safety and comfort features that drivers want. Don't wait. Get a jump on 2026 by exploring jobs in your area today at SchneiderJobs.com. That's SchneiderJobs.com.
Woke radical liberals are screwing up this country, but Senator Jim Banks is fighting back. He backed one big, beautiful tax cut for working families, ending Social Security taxes for nearly all seniors, and taxes on tips and overtime gone. So call Senator Jim Banks at 202-224-4814 and thank him for backing working family tax cuts and putting America first. Paid for by American Prosperity Alliance.
So Pure Talk is offering unlimited talk, text, and data on a crazy fast 5G network for just $29.95 a month for life. Not your phone's life, your life. This top-tier plan is normally $65 a month, but if you switch today, you'll save over 50% every month for the rest of your life. You might say it's the deal of your lifetime. Just dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe. Offer expires 12/7. Some restrictions apply. Details at puretalk.com.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
In 2 minutes from the Technology Recyclers Studios, what happened during a traffic stop in Clinton County Tuesday night, where Indy police say a man died in an early morning crash, how the governor is feeling after the Senate announced they wouldn't meet until next year, and the new college football playoff rankings are out. Did IU or Notre Dame change positions? You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 10 o'clock.
It's already been unanimously approved in the Senate. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. So this morning, when the resolution the House also passed arrives, compelling the Justice Department to release all the files from the Jeffrey Epstein sex trafficking investigation, senators will send it to President Trump, who used to oppose this push as a Democrat hoax and urged Republicans to support it.
If there's a list of people who were participating in sex trafficking, we want to know who they are, and we want to hold them accountable. We want to find justice for the victims.
That's House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer, who tells Fox Business he has subpoenaed 2 banks and the U.S. Virgin Islands Attorney General for Epstein's financial records. The Saudi Crown Prince is still in the U.S.
The president attends a business summit with Saudi leaders today at the Kennedy Center here in Washington. That follows yesterday's massive investment commitment from the kingdom for the U.S. According to Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, it will approach $1 trillion.
Fox's Doug Luzader.
The U.S. will sell F-35 fighter jets to the Saudis. That further solidifies military ties, and the president has declared the country a major non-NATO ally.
Ukraine is another non-NATO ally, and Army Secretary Dan Driscoll's in Kyiv today for talks as rescue crews keep searching the rubble of apartment buildings blown up in a Russian drone and missile attack that killed at least 25 people. 12 days after a death at sea, a potential murder case in court.
Anna Kepner, 18 years old. On November 7th, her body was found on a Carnival cruise ship in the Caribbean. She was on a cruise with her blended family. It was found wrapped in a blanket, stuffed underneath a bed, found by housekeeping. It was covered up also with life jackets. At this point, there's no cause of death, no charges of murder or anything else. We could see, though, criminal charges against a half-sibling who was also on that cruise. That half-sibling is a minor. We learn about this because the stepmom who was on the cruise is trying to delay a custody fight over a previous divorce.
That's Fox's Steve Harrigan. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Multiple injured in a traffic stop shooting. It's cloudy and 43 in the Circle City. Still some fog in the area. Today's high at 48. I'm Jarrett Lewis. This report at 10:02 brought to you by Gutter Helmet. 4 people are shot, including 2 law enforcement officers in north central Indiana. Ryan Hedrick reports.
It started as a traffic stop by a Clinton County deputy. Kirkland Town Marshal showed up to help, and at some point, someone involved in that traffic stop in that car opened fire and hit the police.
A situation like this is difficult for the law enforcement community.
That's State Police Sergeant Jeremy Pierce. He says everyone who was shot is still alive, including the 2 people from the car. Only one of the marshals needed to go to the hospital. State police are now handling the investigation. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Indianapolis police say a man driving a truck died early this morning after crashing on the city's east side. IMPD officer Tommy Thompson says they were called to an area east 25th Street and North Sherman Drive.
You've got some flashing lights for the time being. May have to put a stop sign out there. It usually takes a couple hours to get that repaired. It's going to send 2 crews out to do that signal piece. As far as AES's side, that's something you have to reach out to them. They may just temporarily, structurally put that in place and then come back later to have that removed and put a new one in.
And DPW crews are on site repairing a down traffic signal. Another person who is riding as a passenger in the truck was injured and taken to a hospital. Their condition is unknown. The Indiana House planning to meet next month and work to create new congressional maps, all while the Senate says they will be adjourned until early January. That announcement coming Tuesday from Senate President Pro Tem Rod Bray, who already said there aren't enough votes in his chamber to approve of redistricting. On WIBC's Hammer and Nigel, Governor Mike Braun said he's hoping Senator Bray will have a change of heart.
For some genteel purpose, when the president has talked to him twice, vice president has come in twice, and he's trying to justify that there's not a need to do something because He's not in the mood to do it.
Braun added that he would back candidates who do support redistricting, running against those who don't. And the new college football playoff rankings are out with not much change since last week for Indiana and Notre Dame. The Hoosiers are still number 2 in the eyes of the committee as they work through a bye week. 9th-ranked Notre Dame prepares for Syracuse on Saturday in their final game this season. I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com. Kendall and Casey back in 1 minute.
Pat Sullivan here. I've got a fall lifesaver for you, gutter helmet. You know what fall means in Indiana? Leaves, piles of them. And if you've got gutters, you've got a problem, unless you've got gutter helmet like I do. I haven't cleaned my gutters in years. Why? Because gutter helmet does the dirty work for me. This isn't just a cover. It's a patented system that allows water to flow through while the debris slides off and your gutters stay clear. No more ladders, no more scooping out soggy gunk. Just peace of mind. Thousands of Central Indiana homeowners have already made the switch. Gutter helmet has been America's #1 choice for gutter protection since 1981. And it's been protecting my home every time it rains. And right now, they're offering a 15% discount plus 12 months no interest financing. But don't wait. This deal ends November 30th. Call 800-5HELMET for your free no-pressure estimate. That's 800-5HELMET or visit gutterhelmetindy.com and never clean your gutters again.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Look, we've been saying this for years now in this program. These data centers and these megacorps that run them and put the money behind them, they're not stopping.
No.
And unfortunately for us, we have a government that is emboldening them, incentivizing them, taking our money and incentivizing projects that in many cases the communities don't want, and it puts the communities in which they're proposed on their heels, and they have to take their own time and resources to fight a project that they believe will be bad for the area. And we have seen now another one pop up again here in Indianapolis.
Well, there's a data center developer. His name is Tom Dockich, and he says these data centers are actually creating and generating a large amount of money for the local communities, but the data center developers are just doing a bad job of being transparent about the numbers.
Well, look, this is the biggest problem with these data centers. Well, I mean, look, there's numerous problems, but a lot of it is that there has been the public benefit is unclear, especially when you factor in the massive amount of money that is through the IEDC, the Indiana Economic Development Corporation, being thrown at many of these proposed projects and the various local incentives that are a part of these projects. And so what we do know as a society is that these data centers require massive amounts of power and massive amounts of water. And when you are looking at a time where we clearly have, studies have shown over the next 50 years, a serious issue related to water resources being available in central Indiana already. And we have a serious issue, as we see with our utility bills, with the price of and access to power in the long term in central Indiana and really across our state as a collective. People are looking at this going, wait a second, you're taking my hard-earned money, you're giving it away to these mega corporations, which is why, the way, don't really employ people. They build these massive buildings, and there aren't really a lot of people that work in them. So the jobs, the benefits, the wages, that doesn't really pay out. And you're taking my money, you're giving it to these mega corps that I don't really know much about. I don't really know exactly what's going to be going on here. I see how there might be some sort of societal benefit to these things existing, but not to the community in which I live. Oh, and you're going to put a major strain potentially on the resources I need to live my daily life. I don't think this should be a surprise to anyone why there's such a public pushback against these things.
So you're talking about a digital land grab, surveillance infrastructure, massive water and energy drain, heat islands, noise pollution, and huge tax breaks to really, really rich people. Representative Ed Soliday, he said that lawmakers, they've tried to take over the decision-making for these large-scale infrastructure projects, but the local governments have rejected the attempts. And
wait, now let's pause. Ed Soliday is the head of the utilities in the House. There have been multiple reports come out. Look, bought and sold is a really strong word to use, but how much money and gifts that he has accepted from the utility companies, utility industry, etc. And that guy is a complete pompous ass who he is the same guy, Ed Soliday, who threatened that mayor of Portage via text message. Austin Bonta, I believe was his name, when Bonta spoke up and said, hey, my constituents are really concerned about these repeated utility rate hikes. Maybe the IURC should just knock that off.
Well, he was really critical of the behavior at some of these local meetings.
Of course he is.
He said the harassment of officials should lead to jail time, and he said that the communities are veering towards mob rule. And he said that the claims that Indiana's energy supply is at risk is disingenuous.
Well, clearly it's not, because see, this is, again, it's the lying, right? This is always what it's we can't even have a policy difference because you can't tell the truth. The governor has admitted that we've got a major issue as it relates to power. It's why he signed that SMR Dr. Frankenstein bill, the small modular reactor bill, which will allow utilities to recoup massive amounts of money as it relates to investment in SMRs, nuclear power, from ratepayers, because we have a massive issue with power being available here not only in central Indiana but across our state. See, we can't even have an honest conversation about what's going on because these elitist snob lawmakers belittle people for standing up for themselves. Now look, are people passionate about this stuff? Of course, it's where they live. They should be. But this is how the lawmakers view you. You're a nuisance. What were some of the descriptions he used from the describing people? People should be thrown in jail.
Yeah, he said they should be thrown in jail, and that we're veering towards mob rule, and that the argument that Indiana's energy supply is at risk is disingenuous.
Okay, so if you go to a meeting and you're passionate, and I don't believe anybody's been arrested at any of these meetings that I'm aware of. I think people have probably maybe raised their voices. They've certainly spoken up. There was the one that we're talking about here. There was a new one proposed in Decatur Township that hundreds of people showed up against. But I don't see anything in these reports about people being hauled off in handcuffs or throwing things at the officials. They're holding up signs. They're there. They're pissed off. But in this guy's world, right, like you're the enemy now.
You don't get a say.
You're the enemy because you say, hey, I have to live here, and I got to deal with this, and that doesn't sit well with me. You're now the enemy to Ed Soliday.
So from the U.S. Energy Information Administration, they say that U.S. residential electricity prices rose 6% year over year. Some of these states hit hardest were Virginia and Illinois and Ohio, and they say that some of these AI data centers, they require 1 gigawatt or more of energy, which is equivalent to the power use of 800,000 homes.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this at length. The simple math tells you there's not enough power. And for some reason, so come back to, by the way, Tom Dockich, I believe, is the brother of a friend of our show. Dan Dockich is his brother, and is a very accomplished businessman from northern Indiana. But he's right, and we have been talking about this for a very long time on this program. Until there is a clear benefit laid out to the public about here's what you're going to get revenue-wise, here's where that money's going to go, here's the cost of doing business with this as it relates to water and power, here's how that's going to be paid for, you're never going to get the public on board with this. The lawmakers, and I include them in this because the IEDC gets involved in a lot of these, which means our money is being put at these things. They're doing a horrible job, and these companies are doing a horrible job, which tends to tell me that if they can't explain it, then it may not be there, and that's why people have pause for concern.
So the energy secretary, she said that these data centers could actually help fund needed electric generation. So she's saying that we need electric generation, but Ed Soliday is saying that you're claiming that Indiana's energy is at risk is disingenuous. Are both of these things true?
Well, they can't keep their story straight. No, that's Susie Jaworski you're talking about. Now, Susie Jaworski, we always like to tell people, they always say, you got to remind people who people are. Susie Jaworski is a loser in the sense that she ran for state house and she lost. She was rejected by her potential constituents. They said, no, thank you. We don't like your ideas. And for that, she was given this cushy job in the Braun administration because instead of saying, wow, if her constituents rejected her, wonder what's wrong with her ideas. Braun said, let me give you this great job where you get to dictate policy or help dictate policy for the entire state. Susie Jaworowski, loser, is the same woman who recently said at some sort of luncheon that basically these energy companies and projects should just start suing, or alluded to that they should explore suing local municipalities who stand in their way.
So CNBC did a large article about data centers across the country.
Is it wrong for me to call her a loser? I mean, what am I supposed to call her? She lost.
She lost the election.
Yeah, she's a loser.
Yeah,
she lost. I couldn't call her a winner. She didn't win. She's a loser.
CNBC did a large article about data centers across the country, and they say that Indiana has 75. The states with the most, by the way, California has 321 data centers, Texas 409, Illinois 244, and Virginia 666.
So, not that anybody's going to take my advice on anything, but if you're one of these companies, before you ever even make the formal proposal,
the pitch,
you need to get the community on board, and you get communities on board by being honest with them about what's going on, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and lay all of this out in advance, because so much of the objection to this, and rightfully so, is because of the unknown, and the unknown is because you're not providing data that can be checked and verified, and it leaves people thinking you're trying to pull something over on them. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, because our theme today is our elected officials not being honest with us, and a couple esteemed citizen journalists, member of the media, have gotten some correspondence back from the lieutenant governor's office, which has called something he's been very emphatic about into question.
Okay, it's Kendall Casey on 93 WIBC.
Scrolling all day, clickbait everywhere. But the facts, they're harder to find.
WIBC didn't just report the story, they really got into why it mattered.
CEO of First American Nuclear believes we're heading into America's nuclear renaissance.
In 100 years, all successful nations will be powered by nuclear reactors. For the sake of our children, I'd like the U.S. to be one of them.
Oh, I check the WIBC website before I even open social media.
Online, on social, on air. Stay in the know while you're on the go with 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
Without an Advent clinic nearby, people suffering needlessly from chronic nasal congestion and sinus infections would be stuck with either Band-Aid or sledgehammer solutions. Band-Aids are pills or nasal sprays, and they're not true solutions. Surgery is a sledgehammer, and that's what we're trying to avoid. Because most people don't need surgery for nose and sinus issues, nor do they want a 14-day recovery. Our unique Advent approach can, in 20 minutes in our office, open your blocked nose for good, with only 1 day recovery. I'm Advent founder Dr. Kandula. Outside of Advent's four walls, invasive surgery is what they'll recommend. But here you will find effective and convenient in-office solutions to help you stop the need for Band-Aids and avoid the sledgehammer.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Most insurance accepted.
Do you remember what was happening in America? Families struggling, billions in wasteful spending. But Senator Todd Young fought back. He voted for working family tax cuts, and Senator Young voted to crack down on waste, fraud, and abuse, saving taxpayers billions. So call Senator Todd Young at 202-224-5623 and thank him for supporting the Working Families Tax Cut. Paid for by American Prosperity Alliance.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
While retinitis pigmentosa takes Mark's vision, his family gives him hope, whether at the family business or at home with his wife and sons. He knows he's not fighting alone. For 50 years, the Foundation Fighting Blindness has funded research into treatments and cures for blinding retinal diseases, providing hope to people with vision loss. And for Mark, winning the fight means being there for his family. The Foundation Fighting Blindness. Together, we're winning. Help us end blinding diseases at fightingblindness.org.
Transform your bath and double the value. It's B Windows Black Friday bath sale. Buy one bath, get one free. Plus no interest and no payments for 24 months. Call now or visit bwindow.com.
This hour powered by Pierce Jewelers, designers of fine custom jewelry in Carmel.
Okay, you're just blatantly lying is a strong word to use or strong phrase to use. So we'll say somebody appears to have a problem with the truth. How about that?
Okay.
Is that fair? Is that a kinder, gentler way?
It is.
Okay, so this is fascinating. By the way, it's Kendall Casey show. I'm Rob. That's Casey. Our lieutenant governor once again appears to have made some statements that appear inconsistent with the facts as presented once the media started looking into the issue at large. And so this all goes back to, take away the fact that he's a habitual liar who's been caught in numerous lies, this allegation of AI pornography being viewed in the lieutenant governor's office, and that Aaron Sheridan, a senior staffer for the lieutenant governor, Micah Beckwith, made the allegation that multiple members of his staff were viewing and sharing artificial intelligence pornography of Craig Haggard, a state representative, his wife. And she came on this program. She told the story in detail. It is the same story she has told me for months. It has never changed. And look, people can decide if she is lying or not. But as part of that detail, she detailed viewing the AI pornography that they were sharing. She said, and correct me if I'm misremembering any of this, she said that those individuals said Micah Beckwith, the lieutenant governor, was aware of the AI pornography existing. And she said she took the complaint to Sherry Ellis, Micah Beckwith's chief of staff, after it occurred, and Sherry Ellis did nothing. Did I relay anything that she stated on this program? Okay. Micah Beckwith then came out and said this is all untrue. This didn't happen. She's lying. I did an investigation. I did an investigation in my office, and I found nothing. Right? They immediately came out and said that. And then people said, okay, well, like, what sort of investigation did you do? Did you bring in a third party? Was the state police brought in? Was the Marion County, the IMPD brought in? Did you bring some forensic expert, some third party in? No, we didn't do any of that. Well, okay, then, like, what sort of investigation did you do? Well, I did an investigation. It was like Diego Morales when I asked him, what does Raju Shinthala do for his $80,000 taxpayer-funded contract? Well, he's in the business services. Well, okay, what does he do? Well, he checks on the businesses. What do you mean he checks on the businesses? Does he? No, are you guys okay? No, he checks on the businesses. So, like, everybody's listening to Micah explain this going, you didn't investigate anything. You're just pulling something out of your ass saying it because you've gotten away with doing this stuff for so long, people just believe you. And so several people said, okay, if there was this supposed investigation, there has to be a paper trail that backs up. It's some sense, right? It's 2025. If you did anything, there has to be some sort of electronic paper trail. If we did this, I emailed these people, we talked about this. And so our old pal Jacob Stewart,
from Indy Star.
Yeah, Indy Star, and then Chris Bilbrey, citizen journalist from the northern part of Indiana, or directly above us, came out, and both of them said that they filed what are known as the APRA requests, the Access to Public Records through the Access to Public Records Act, better known as a public records request. And both of them said the identical thing, which is that they got nothing back from Micah's office.
In response to your request for records, no such records exist.
Not saying, here's the correspondence and we found nothing, as in there is no correspondence. As in there is nothing based on the public records request filed by these individuals related to any sort of electronic correspondence or communication to an investigation into artificial intelligence pornography in the lieutenant governor's office.
Doesn't exist. No records.
So you can either believe that in 2025, the lieutenant governor did an investigation, an office-wide investigation spanning what would span any sort of thorough investigation, many employees. And he was supposedly, didn't he say he was checking computers and he was checking emails and there's no electronic record of any of that. Or you can say, wow, it appears he lied again.
Yeah.
You make the call.
Jacob Stewart said he filed an APRA request with the lieutenant governor's office seeking records and communications related to the AI deepfake scandal, and they are saying none exist.
So we know.
The quest for transparency continues.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's just lying. The guy lies about everything. He lies about everything. No reasonable person believes you did any sort of investigation of anything, and there's not a shred, a speck of electronic something to back that up. Like you wouldn't have sent an email to someone, hey, here's what we found. Hey, can you send this over to me? Can you? And it was always ludicrous to begin with to think that on a weekend, one day in a weekend, he did some sort of thorough investigation. At best, you know what happened?
What?
Hey, so-and-so, did you do it? Nah. Okay, we're done here. That's the investigation, if any, that took place.
And if that's what took place, there wouldn't be records of that.
And that is probably why a Marion County grand jury is looking into this, because maybe they think he's as full of crap as we do, and they want to get to the bottom of what happened.
You know, in regards to Diego Morales being at the redistricting party they had yesterday at the State House, somebody brought up an interesting point that his job as the Secretary of State is to ensure elections are fair.
Yes.
And if he's implying that they aren't, doesn't that raise some questions about the elections that he's already overseen?
Well, it's totally inappropriate for him to be involved in this, but he gets involved in stuff all the time that he shouldn't be involved in, because Diego's job, his actual job, I mean, he sees his job as using taxpayer money and resources to campaign 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
I.e. state maps with his name on them.
Or the car that he goes all over the state with, the checks that he presents that have his name on them, blah, blah, blah. It goes on forever and ever. But his actual job is to, whether it is the Secretary of State or the comptroller or the state treasurer, their job is to be an administrator of the will of the General Assembly. That is their job. And his job should be not to advocate for elections in one form or another. His job would be to enforce the free and fair elections.
To execute.
Yes, that the General Assembly has set forth. But as usual with that knucklehead, he doesn't get the memo or he doesn't care, and he's just doing whatever he wants. And for some reason, nobody will do a damn thing about him.
So Home Depot has missed their earnings estimates for the third straight quarter, and it's not looking good for them. They say that many people are moving slow on any home improvement ideas. Soft customer demand, weak housing market, and also higher mortgage and borrowing costs.
Well, that wouldn't be all that surprising, would it?
No.
I mean, you think about when you feel confident in something, you're more apt to part with your money, right? You're more apt to you think about even like the way you kind of invest your money, right? When times are good, hey, we'll take a little risk here. You know, we've done very well. We're playing with house money. This company's a startup or whatever. Versus when times are tough, you're like, hey, I need that CD, right? Like I need that fixed interest rate or money market or, whatever it might be. And I think you're seeing sort of the same thing with home improvements where people are like, the house is good enough.
Right.
And if we're not selling it,
let's keep it the way it is.
We're okay for now.
Home Depot says that homeowners are remaining in a deferral mindset on renovations. Kind of like, not now. We'll wait. We'll defer to next year. Let's see how things go.
Well, and I think that's the biggest thing is people don't know. It's one thing to be in a period of, hey, things aren't going great, but a year from now, we're really predicting things are going to turn back around. So we're preparing for that. Versus here, because of all these uncertainties with the tariffs and I mean, the economy really as a collective and inflation, these are things that are not known. And when things are not known, the economy does not, the stock market, the economy in general, it doesn't respond well. And I think that's what you're seeing here is people saying, we don't know what's going to happen. And so that $20,000 or $10,000 bathroom remodel that would be really nice to have, we're not certain that's necessary for next year.
And even for people who, kitchens and bathrooms are what people look at when they buy a house. And if people aren't selling their homes, Home Depot even saying that housing turnover remains low, you're not apt to do that upgrade so that you can sell it quicker. It's reducing the major project spending. People just aren't doing it. Their transactions are down 1.6%. They did say their one bright spot in sales has been online.
All right. Wild day yesterday at the State House. The governor is imploding. He is turning into, it's Glenn Close, right, in Fatal Attraction. I Will Not Be Ignored, Dan, the boiling pot of water on the stove. Really, it's horrible to see, but the governor's having a complete meltdown over Rod Bray. Jim Merritt was there yesterday, and, of course, he spent 30 years in the Indiana Senate. We'll get his take on what happened.
He's coming up next on 93 WIBC.
Hammer here for my friends at AAA. The holidays are here. It's upon us, and so is winter weather. This year, stay prepared and give everyone on your list the gift of a peace of mind by giving them a AAA membership. As a AAA member, you get roadside assistance 24/7, 365. Flat tire, dead battery, you name it, AAA is there. You also get exclusive travel discounts, hotels, rental cars, and all the cool events happening around the Hoosier State this holiday season. Now through the end of the year, new members can join AAA for just $50 for a 1-year classic membership and add an associate for free. This is a great gift idea. Give someone you care about a AAA membership. Visit AAA.com and use the code HOLIDAY25. That's HOLIDAY25 at AAA.com, or just call 844-GO-AAA-GO or visit your local AAA office. Give the gift of AAA this holiday season. Tell them Hammer from Hammer and Nigel sent you.
You ready to build your custom dream home? Check out Joyner Homes based out of Greenfield. See one of their model homes in person anytime. It is a great way for you to experience the customization and quality of a Joyner Homes custom built home. Plus, you can meet with a new home specialist to learn about their building process. Available lots if you don't already have one. Find out about floor plans and where they build. Model homes are open 7 days a week from noon to 5 and walk-ins are welcome. Find out more at joynerhomes.com.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Moving on the release of the Epstein files. Cloudy, 42. Still some fog sitting around. It'll be cloudy all day with a high at 48. I'm Jarrett Lewis. It's now 10:30. The House and Senate voting to pass a bill ordering the Justice Department to release all files regarding convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein on Tuesday. Fox's Aishna Hasni reports from Capitol Hill.
Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer did not waste any time warning that Democrats are going to hold the DOJ accountable and make sure they don't scrub any evidence.
We know there's a corrupt Justice Department. We know that Bondi and Kash Patel do just what the president asks and wants. And we Democrats are going to do everything we can to make sure all of it comes to light.
House Oversight Chair James Comer claims that Epstein was invited to a Democratic fundraiser back in 2013 to get to know Hakeem Jeffries. He cited an email that was inviting the sex offender to this event.
Other emails released by House Democrats include Epstein claiming that the president knew about the girls that were being trafficked for sex. President Trump says he intends to sign the bill. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy delivering remarks at the Honeywell Aviation Leadership Summit in D.C. as flights across the country return to normal following the government shutdown. The FAA lifted emergency flight restrictions on Monday as air traffic controller staffing levels continue to improve. Duffy says they are making progress.
What our intent is to have a technology that we can build off of, that we can grow off of as new evolution and new advancement comes. We can deploy off it. We don't have to build everything brand new again.
Duffy added that projects of this size normally take 10 to 15 years to complete, but he hopes this project can be completed by 2028. And the American Farm Bureau Federation's annual supermarket survey says the average Thanksgiving dinner this year will cost about $5.52 a person. That's down 5% from last year. I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Comprehensive cancer care is not just about treating cancer. It's caring for the person behind the diagnosis. It's our team by your side to listen, connect, and encourage, and to celebrate every milestone together. Because at Franciscan Health, your journey is our journey. Your victory is our victory. Your hope and trust in us to provide extraordinary cancer care with the latest advancements, plus a little extra TLC, is our mission. Learn more at franciscanhealth.org/cancercare.
Another accident? What happened?
Our truck driver got cut off, and they're getting blamed. No witnesses, no proof, and insurance is skyrocketing.
Wait, our drivers shouldn't take the blame for this?
Exactly why we need Samsara. Their AI dashcam show real-time video proving when our drivers aren't at fault.
So we protect our drivers and avoid false claims?
Yep. Companies using Samsara have exonerated their drivers and saved millions on insurance.
Protect your drivers and your bottom line at Samsara.com. Samsara. Operates smarter.
Christmas is almost here, and if you're shopping on a budget, you shop at PA Jewelers at the Farmhouse in Brownsburg. Truly unique pieces you won't find anywhere else. And sale prices every single day. At PA Jewelers at the Farmhouse, you'll find gold, diamonds, gemstones, exquisite, one-of-a-kind pieces, and incredible local artist designs all within your budget. Your perfect place to shop for the holidays. PA Jewelers at the Farmhouse, 3750 South Green Street in Brownsburg, or online at pajewelers.jewelry. That's pajewelers.jewelry.
If you or someone you know needs help putting food on the table, that help is closer than you think. WIBC Cares. We've partnered with local food banks and organizations to provide resources for those who need them. Just go to WIBC.com and look for the banner that says Find Free Food Near You. You'll find a link to Community Compass, an up-to-date interactive map that shows locations, days, and times for you to collect food at no cost, as well as other resources to help you through this challenging time. Find community help now at WIBC.com.
Guys, don't propose with a ring that she didn't pick out. Trust us, she already has a ring in mind. So engage with Gage Diamonds, in person or online, where Gage's skilled ring designers will work with her to create the perfect setting, matched with the perfect stone. Gage specializes in exquisite lab-grown diamonds. Financing available. GageDiamonds.com. We're engagement's middle name.
See Pierce Jewelers' breathtaking selection of lab-grown diamonds, refined to perfection and value. It's the new choice in diamonds. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
Reach your fitness goals in 2025 with a 20-minute once-a-week program at Exercise Inc. 5 locations now in Fishers. Visit exerciseinc.com.
Early in the morning, factory whistle blows and rises from bed.
So implosion time from the governor. Oh my gosh, this is so crazy. Let's get to the bottom of it. Nobody knows the Indiana politics and government better than this guy. 30 years in the Indiana Senate. Jim Merritt, hello.
Robert.
All right, so we spent a lot of time on the program today talking about that bizarro org day yesterday. Have you ever seen a governor? I mean, he comes off very, I will not be ignored, Dan, the crazy, wacky Glenn Close character.
Oh, my goodness.
Boiling, water on the stove. And I feel like Rod Bray, it wasn't Michael Douglas. Rod Bray is the Michael Douglas character at this point.
I was there yesterday. We celebrated the 25th anniversary of the Safe Haven Law. And
now that is, for those that don't know, that's the law in terms of being able to place a baby somewhere and
yes, with a first responder,
right.
Police, fire. So I was able to watch the governor and Senator Bray and Speaker Houston and our friend, the lieutenant governor, all at the front of this celebration there in the front row. And it was a lot like Governor Holcomb and the legislature. They handled each other with, handshakes, and it really didn't look stiff or anything. I think they were really, playing the role. But there was a pall at a cloud, a mist at the State House yesterday, and my fellow legislators, my fellow senators, my caucus, nobody was happy. And I talked to a lot of them, just kind of wandering around. I wasn't wandering around the State House, but
do that. That'd be a great reality show. Jim Merritt wanders the State House.
Well, I could give you a tour, but the bottom line is there is a sadness that permeated the State House yesterday.
Okay, so let's talk about Braun, because this is so it's one thing for a governor to have an ask. It's one thing for a governor to make something a priority. All of that's fine. But this repeated, scorned lover thing where I'm going to, compel them. He's not going to compel anybody to do anything. And all he's doing now is pissing these guys off.
That's true. And it's just, it's very disappointing. And the governor, as many people know, he was a U.S. Senator, but he was also a member of the Indiana House of Representatives. And he spoke about that at the celebration yesterday.
Yeah, so, for an outsider, he's done a very career politician-y thing.
He's been inside the establishment, and most people know I am establishment. I'm an institutionalist. I believe in the institution, and it's really it's disquieting. It's just disappointing that the governor doesn't realize that the nuts and bolts of government, of running an election in May, is timely, and you have to have everything from the precincts all the way to the election. When you're trying to redistrict, there is a process, there is a system, and this is throwing a wrench in it, and Senator Bray stood up.
Jim Merritt
got it done.
Jim Merritt is our guest. Okay, so at what point does Rod Bray fire back? Because he was very nice again yesterday. Mm-hmm. And there has to come a point where he is like, You are getting the President of the United States harassing me. Braun, we all know what the General Assembly thinks of Braun. Like, at some point, he's got to say something stronger than what he's been way nicer than I'd have been about it so far.
Well, remember, Governor Holcomb had 70 executive orders running Indiana for a couple of years. And Senator Bray and Speaker Houston made their complaints inside room 206 where the governor's office is. And so I don't expect Rod to do that. What I do expect is my members, my former caucus, to support Senator Bray regardless of how they feel about this. And you saw a resolution fail yesterday about going to special session. And so I expect the Senate Republican caucus to solidify and support Senator Bray. And with that support, Senator Bray has proved his mettle, and for them to back him up on it.
Jim Merritt, our guest, talking about that wild org day yesterday. Now, then they have this rally, and there's like somewhere between 30 and 50 people there.
Right.
It was a colossal embarrassment.
That rally was a really.
And look, God bless any person who wants to come up and petition their government and you know,
right. We want everybody to come to the State House.
But they did more harm than good because the lawmakers look and go, oh, that's it?
Yeah, especially right next door in the head house next door to the rotunda. We had probably 150 or 200 people there celebrating in a very positive way of saving lives. And you know, God bless them. I saw they were in red. And there were probably, and somebody said 24. I don't think there were 24 there. And we had the usual folks. You know, Lieutenant Governor was there. The Secretary of State was there.
Well, that was their problem. That's who they made the face of the thing, right?
Well,
I mean, what an embarrassment for those guys. Diego and Micah are the face, and they can't get 30 people or whatever to show up there.
I was really concerned about having the celebration as well as the really there because they started putting some noise out there, and I thought it was going to be very disrupting to the Safe Haven celebration, but it wasn't. Everybody was kind and considerate, and it's just disappointing that this effort that is going on right now for the 9-0 where they're trying to do it, it's falling flat. And we need to get on to talking about affordability and everything that people are concerned with property taxes. Get on to the issues of the day.
Well, this is what I was going to ask you is Braun appears totally, and he was on Hammer and Nigel yesterday, and they asked him about it. He appears totally aloof on why there's a whole bunch of people that are like, why didn't you fight like this on property taxes? Like, if you'd have done this, we would have loved you if you'd have fought like this on property taxes. Like, he appears just totally, he comes off as some sort of, just completely subservient to Trump. And then it's like the stuff that he could help the people on, he's just like, nah.
Well, also the idea of thinking that this isn't finished, that there's still a possibility of
he's
this.
Like Pluto in Animal House. Nothing's over until we decide it is.
I think it's time. The short session, which will end, can end by March 15th. And, one year we ended on February 14th on Valentine's Day. And so it can be done. This new short session, everybody's going to be running for re-election. If the promised primaries are there for people that are opposing the governor and the president of the United States, people are going to want to get out of there and start running for re-election.
Well, let me ask you about the primaries, because we talked about this yesterday on the air. These people, because you're seeing these people pop up now, I'm challenging so-and-so. But if they can only get 30 people to the State House on some rally, and they've had these town halls and nobody showed up, and the polling shows people are against it, I think these people are making a colossal mistake thinking that running on redistricting is going to be some magic bullet that's going to get them through a primary.
Right. And the legislature will come back, and they'll do several things that will extend out the stress points of the property tax. Senate Bill 1, the quote-unquote reform, and local government will be happy about that. And it's confusing anyway, but they'll get done what they think needs to get done. And and this will be a distant memory, and they'll be running for election. And I don't know how you raise money. I don't know how you raise volunteers. I don't know how you win a primary on this issue, because from people I talk to, the people that are at the gyms and the churches and people in everyday life don't think that redistricting is something that ignites a following that will overcome, that will beat an incumbent in a primary election.
Yeah, if you're not running on property taxes and utility bills, if you're running on redistricting, you're going to lose. Okay,
That's not going to happen.
Before we let you go, why can't Braun let this go? Is he just that afraid of Trump? I mean, Braun seems to me like a guy who writes a lot of checks with his mouth that his actions can't cash. I've experienced that firsthand with the property tax. Is that what this is? That he gave though Trump, yeah, we got this, it'll be no problem, and now he can't get it done.
You know, I don't understand the governor's plan here, and for him to tweet yesterday that the Senate members are hiding in their offices or in the caucus room, I take umbrage at that. I as a former member, we are in line at the grocery. We hear from people. And I say I'm not there anymore, but I know what they're living right now, and they've just got to back up Senator Bray.
All right, find him on Twitter at Jim_Merritt. Merritt in the Morning, that's the podcast, YouTube as well as Facebook. Jim Merritt, thank you.
Thank you.
Kendall Casey Show, 93 WIBC.
Coming up on Tony Katz today, they passed the Epstein legislation. They do not censure Delegate Plaskett, and it's all because of Representative Corey Mills. Oh, there's a problem that we have to fix no matter what. That's after the news at noon on 93 WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel here. I've had previous experience with weight loss injections, and they worked, but the provider was very impersonal. With Premier Weight Loss, it's a totally different experience, Hammer. Their offices are professional and relaxing and impressive. It's not a compound product. It's true medical guidance, not just a telehealth chat request. And by the way, Hammer, the price of this most popular option is $350 per month.
Everybody's journey is different. I lost 50 pounds on my own, but then I hit a plateau and I couldn't lose anymore. And that's when I reached out for help. And Premier Weight Loss, they customized the plan specifically for me. And they got 2 different locations. There's one at 96th and Meridian. There's one off 106th and 69. Please stop by pwlnd.com. pwlnd.com. And I'm telling you, you're going to feel so much better. Make sure you tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Man, it's cold out there, and if you spent all last winter thinking that it was time to replace your windows, but you didn't want to spend the money or have your windows done in the middle of the winter, it's a good thing you waited, because now, during Window Nation's end-of-year sale this November, you can save big on windows. 50% off all window styles and 0% financing for 5 years.
Window Nation's proven quality windows are so good, you'll actually save money on lower utility bills every month, and they're backed with a lifetime warranty. Window Nation has an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. That's a real peace of mind when choosing the right company to upgrade your home. Prefer to hear what others have to say about Window Nation? Check out their over 45,000 5-star customer reviews. Put an end to your window problems. Window Nation's end-of-the-year sale. It's your chance to save big with 50% off all window styles, plus 0% financing for 5 years. 866-90-NATION or go to windownation.com.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years' experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Indiana can count on.
Growing your retail business is easier with Shopify Point of Sale. Shopify POS connects your entire retail store, in-store, online, and social media on one platform. It's built for how customers shop today and for how they'll shop tomorrow. The result? Smoother checkouts and deeper customer relationships that pay off and keep them coming back. Ready to grow with Shopify POS? Visit shopify.com/switch now for more details. That's shopify.com/switch now.
Woke radical liberals are screwing up this country, but Senator Jim Banks is fighting back. He backed one big, beautiful tax cut for working families, ending Social Security taxes for nearly all seniors, and taxes on tips and overtime gone. So call Senator Jim Banks at 202-224-4814 and thank him for backing working family tax cuts and putting America first. Paid for by...
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take Dayquil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Ugh, okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the Dayquil.
Undo your flu symptoms with Dayquil Intense Flu. Dayquil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
Dayquil Intense Flu. The daytime coughing, aching fever under your flu medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
The annual holiday open house is Saturday at Sundown Gardens. Shop festive decor, enjoy food samples, and register for door prizes. Sundown Gardens, 186th Street and Spring Mill Road.
Join WIBC this Saturday for the grand reopening of Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan. Join us at 9 a.m. for a live broadcast of the Home and Garden Show and discover what's new. Don't miss the excitement. Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan is back and better than ever.
Okay, I have an update for you, Jason Hammer, that I think you're going to love.
Oh, okay.
We got it during the break. By the way, it's Kendall Casey Show. I'm Rob. That's Casey. Jason Hammer, one half of the Hammer and Nigel Show, in with us. There was a hearing today, a bond hearing, a bail hearing for our old pal Gabe Whitley.
Honest Gabe?
Disgraced former congressional candidate, got dead last in the...
Every staff member at the Hoosier Inquirer, which stupid people online thought was a real publication.
Every staff member.
Then went to federal prison for lying about donors, and then found himself in the Marion County jail.
We were there when he got sentenced.
Yeah,
we all
right.
made a roadie. I made some great sketches.
I've still got him in the office in there. When we make the move, that's the one thing I'm taking with me. All those pictures of my daughter, nope, not taking those. But the
You're Vince Vaughn in Wedding Crashers carrying the picture out. It's coming with me. This was a gift.
Hammer's bad artist sketches of Gabe's court hearing, and then he ended up in the Marion County Jail because he was facing state charges related to threats of Abdul. And then when he got out of the federal pen, something about he didn't want to wear his ankle monitor allegedly, or something about that. And then they ended up putting him in jail, which is where he finds himself today.
Why would you not want to wear the ankle monitor? Like, think about how little these things are actually monitored. There was a story where there was a dude that was dead in a Planet Fitness hot tub for like 3 days, which there's a lot of side stories to that in itself, but he had an ankle monitor on.
In the hot tub?
The tanning bed.
Oh, tanning bed.
Tanning bed. Yes. Tanning bed. Now, first of all, you got to point a little blame here at the staff of that Planet Fitness.
They're
in
not
Johnson
cleaning
County.
those tanning beds?
Clearly, you're not cleaning it every night if there's a corpse in there for 3
Nice.
days. But also, like, you're not doing a real good job of tracking these things. If we can't find this guy, he's dead with one on.
Yeah, so if indeed that's true, that seems like a pretty silly reason to lose your freedom. But he had a bail hearing today, and according to Abdul, the judge said, "You're staying in the pokey,"
which he probably likes it. I mean,
Holidays in jail.
Right.
Abdul said he was trying to get out. I mean, he said he was making the case. I guess it was on a Zoom hearing. But anyway, I guess his trial is scheduled to come up early next year. So it appears he will remain in the Marion County Jail until said time, at least as of right now. So I know you would get great joy out of that and wanted to update the public at large.
Oh, I love this. I love this. Now, somebody's probably listening to the show right now that's going to get called for jury duty next year. And imagine...
It'll be me, because that's the only thing I get for voting.
Imagine the joy on Casey's face when she shows up to court and it's the trial of Honest Gabe.
Yeah. Is there any reason you can't be a fair and impartial juror? Nope.
No, we cannot.
As I carry Rob Kendall's book with me.
That is
the I Love Rob Kendall t-shirt.
Right.
That is the most stupid thing anybody's ever gone to prison for, isn't it? Making up fake campaign donors. I mean, that is the most
Well, he's also got fake staff members at a fake publication. The whole dude.
They got media passes, by the way.
The whole dude
to the
is a
State
fraud.
House. Yeah.
Right. 100%. Everything about it. And the thing that would drive me nuts, and this is where I lose a little faith in humanity, is that stupid Hoosier Inquirer thing on Twitter that moron created. People thought that it was real, and they were sharing articles, from it. I'm like, it's one of those stupid things where you could create any sort of headline and people fall for it. I'm like, come on, guys. You got to be better than that.
Speaking of things that people fall for, there were apparently people who believe that Mike Braun could get redistricting done. And as of your interview yesterday, I don't think it's happening.
And here's what I love. I brought up property taxes.
You did.
Just so people would, get off my ass about it for just 5 minutes. Like, before we even turn the microphones on, are you going to ask him about property taxes? Yeah, there's a pretty high-profile feud he's got going on with the Senate Pro Tem, but I promise, and I blame you guys for this, you've got these people so fired up about property taxes, and it's a good thing, but I could have Jesus himself walk into the studio, sit down at this microphone.
Ask him about property taxes.
When's he going to talk about property taxes?
What are your thoughts on the interview yesterday?
So, again, my goal for when I do an interview, and I think Nigel's the same way, we're not here to change anybody's minds. Like, maybe other folks are, but it's been our understanding nobody's going to change their mind, okay? So we want to make sure we get the questions out people want to hear. We want to hear what he has to say. We'll ask some follow-ups. We want to get him on the record. That's the goal for when we do interviews. We want to find out the most important questions Hoosiers have. We're going to ask it. Now, whether you like his response or don't like his response, that's up to you. But we're not trying to change people's minds. Like, I hate talk radio where it's a finger wagging and I'm going to change your mind. Bite me. I can think on my own.
What's coming up this afternoon?
Tony Kennett will join us. We'll have the latest on this little feud at the Indiana State House, and we're giving away Weird Al tickets.
Yeah! Nice.
Weird Al, who should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Thanks, Hammer. It is Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
When people think sleep apnea, they think CPAP. Now at Advent, we do all we can to help sleep apnea sufferers avoid the CPAP machine. And most sleep apnea sufferers who come to Advent are going to be able to avoid a CPAP altogether. Our unique Advent approach using simple in-office solutions can get your nose working and throat open all under one roof. You see, the root of every snoring and obstructive sleep apnea problem lies within the throat, nose, or both. At Advent, we know when we get the nose and throat working properly, most snoring and sleep apnea problems will subside. And we have the most simple and convenient, ultra-effective in-office solutions that can do just that. And this is why people have traveled by planes, trains, and automobiles from corners of the world you would never think of to find the sleep apnea and snoring relief you won't find elsewhere.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Most insurance accepted.
As an IT professional, you have the opportunity to guarantee your data security, participate in 100% landfill-free disposal, and have peace of mind with R2 V3 certifications. Technology Recyclers provides guaranteed complete data destruction, 100% landfill-free disposal, and the certification to back it up. Protect your data while saving the planet. Receive a free pickup of your e-waste from Technology Recyclers. Visit tech-recyclers.com. That's tech-recyclers.com.
WIBC cares, and if you or someone you care about needs food assistance, we have resources for you, including food distribution locations with an interactive map. Also, learn how you can make a difference for friends and neighbors in need, all at WIBC.com.
Don't wait until Gold Friday. Get your tickets today.
Siakam versus Sims. He'll challenge Sims, and he'll shoot from the foul line and score.
Get the best tickets of the season with your Indiana Pacers Gold Friday deals presented by KeyBank. This week only, get specially priced tickets for the Hornets game on Wednesday and the Pistons game next Monday.
What is happening here?
Get your tickets at Pacers.com/Gold Friday. That's Pacers.com/Gold Friday.
An official message from Medicare.
Medicare plans change from one year to the next. And this year, it's important for you to review your current coverage and compare all your options during Medicare open enrollment. Compare health plans, drug coverage, and costs. See if you can save some money, and don't forget to make sure your drugs are covered. Open enrollment ends December 7th. Visit Medicare.gov or call 1-800-MEDICARE.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. Enjoy personalized comfort for better sleep night after night. It's our Black Friday sale. Recharge this season with a bundle of cozy, soothing comfort. Now only $17.99 for our C2 mattress and base, plus free premium delivery. Prices higher in Alaska and Hawaii. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
Plumbing problems stink. The LD Smith Crew can handle anything. Call today for $50 off any plumbing repair, big or small.
LD Smith Plumbing.
A dirty, stinking honest.
It's B Windows' biggest sale of the year. Get up to 68% off plus no interest, no payments for 24 months. Call now or go to bwindow.com.
Trust me.
Coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recyclers Studios, the status of those shot during a traffic stop late last night in Clinton County, what Governor Braun is hoping state lawmakers will agree on before the new year, and some numbers on how Indiana small businesses have been doing. Those stories and more next. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. Time for Fox News. It's 11 o'clock.
$1 trillion. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's how much Saudi Arabia's leader says they might spend in the U.S.
Materials, magnet, etc. That will create a lot of investment opportunities.
So you are doing that now. You're saying to me now that the $600 billion will be $1 trillion.
Definitely, because what we are signing it will facilitate that, and
I like that very much.
Now, this hour, President Trump and Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman plan to go to a business summit in Washington, where Fox's Peter Ducey reports.
President Trump is also teasing a potential big announcement about Saudi Arabia eventually recognizing Israel, formally diplomatically recognizing Israel as part of the Abraham Accords.
Now, Israel has gone on the attack in Lebanon today, targeting what it says was a Hamas military training compound, killing at least 14 people. Russia also went on the attack again in Ukraine, where at least 25 people were killed in an apartment building hit in Chernobyl in a massive drone and missile barrage that hit Ukraine. A group of Democrats in Congress who opposed the U.S. military action blowing up boats off the South American coast suspected of smuggling drugs and killing alleged narco-terrorists have put out a video urging service members to consider not taking part.
The threats to our Constitution aren't just coming from abroad, but from right here at home.
Our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders.
White House Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller on X writing, quote, Democrat lawmakers are now openly calling for insurrection. Missouri Republican Senator Eric Schmidt saying, quote, at the end of the day, they're mad the American people chose Trump, and now they're calling on the military and intelligence community to intervene.
Fox's Mike Emanuel. The Senate has sent to President Trump's desk the resolution it approved unanimously after House passage, compelling the Justice Department to turn over the files from the investigation into the Jeffrey Epstein sex trafficking of underage girls. President Trump initially had opposed it, calling it Democrat hoax. And then he urged Republicans to support it, saying they have nothing to hide. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
4 people total shot. Cloudy, 43 in downtown Indy. Today's high just under 48 with cloudy skies. I'm Jarrett Lewis. Here's what's trending at 11:02. 2 people shot Tuesday night in Clinton County are marshals from the town of Kirkland, just northwest of Indianapolis. 4 people were shot, and they were helping the Clinton County Sheriff's Office during a traffic stop when someone opened fire. State Police Sergeant Jeremy Pierce says everyone is expected to survive.
So we just thank everyone for their support as they continue to support us and what we do.
Police had already removed everyone from the car when shots were fired. A child inside is okay. The person who fired at the officers was arrested, and state police are investigating. Governor Mike Braun says there's still time for Senate Republicans to get behind redistricting efforts that he and President Trump both want for Indiana.
6 bluest states in the country are in New England, other than California. Massachusetts, exactly like us, has been gerrymandered to where they haven't had a Republican in nearly 2 decades.
And the 2 Democratic state seats in the state could turn red, giving the GOP a 9-0 advantage. The governor, a guest on WIBC's Hammer and Nigel Tuesday, he learned that House Republicans have the votes to back redistricting, and they want to meet next month to create new maps with hopes that the Senate will support them. If you're looking to start a business, you may just be in the right state, Jeanette Cruz explains.
New data released this week is showing how Indiana is quickly rising as a top state for entrepreneurship and small business success. Governor Mike Braun is using Global Entrepreneurship Week to showcase results, including Indiana ranking near the top nationally for startup survival rates, with 84% of businesses remaining open after 1 year. Powering the state's economy are over 591,000 small businesses that employ 1.2 million Hoosiers, which accounts for 43% of the state's workforce. The state's new Office of Entrepreneurship and Innovation accelerates this growth, connecting students and companies with vital funding and resources. Jeanette Cruz, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Not much change to the latest college football playoff rankings. IU remains at 2. Notre Dame sticks at 9. The Hoosiers are on a bye this week, while the Irish take on Syracuse Saturday in South Bend. As for college hoops, this week, Indiana hoping to play better against Lindenwood than they did against Incarnate Word on Sunday. Tucker DeVries on dealing with some tough shooting nights.
You know, obviously shots weren't falling, but I think at the end of the day, that's important to, still find a way to win games when shots aren't falling. I know it didn't look pretty, but that's part of growing, and I think there's a lot we can take away from that.
And that next game will be tomorrow. Last night, Evansville beat UT Arlington 84-76. Tonight, Indiana State will host Louisiana Tech. I'm Jarrett Lewis on The Level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Football is back, and so are great hairlines. We Grow Hair Indy has helped former local professional football players get back in the game with full natural hair. You don't have to play pro ball to get pro-level results. Hey, it's Rob, and I knew I picked the right team when I needed a Hail Mary for my hair. I called We Grow Hair Indy. Whether you're tailgating, coaching, or watching from the couch, do it with confidence. Trade the sidelines for a hairline. Get back in the game at We Grow Hair Indy. Schedule your free evaluation today at WeGrowHairIndy.com. That's WeGrowHairIndy.com, or call 317-522-2995. That's 317-522-2995. Enjoy being out and about this fall. Enjoy watching the games in person with your friends with confidence you haven't had in years. And you can do it with a trip to We Grow Hair Indy. 317-522-2995. 317-522-2995. Tell them Rob sent you.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
You got to stop talking about Jeffrey Epstein's unit.
There's an article that came out that said it was shaped like a fruit.
You have been on this now
No,
for an
I
hour.
have not.
And you're like showing, she brings her phone over here and is like, look at this. Did you see this? Why would I want to see that, lady?
Why would anybody want to see that?
Well, why are you showing it to
New
everyone?
York Post is reporting on it.
Yeah,
I thought you needed to have the information.
Oh, I needed to know what Jeffrey Epstein's unit was shaped like. No, thank you.
No, you needed to know what the report was.
Oh.
That's what it is.
What was it?
I'm not talking about it anymore.
Pumpkin? Is what you said?
A lemon.
A lemon. Why was that a story?
I don't know. That's why I was like, look at this. This is ridiculous.
You didn't even read the story.
No,
you just
I
felt
read
I needed
the
to see the headline.
Correct.
Thank you.
Yeah.
How does that even work?
How does what even work?
Like if your unit were shaped like a lemon.
I don't know. You're the one with the equipment, not me.
Well, you've been married for 27 years. You also, and you have a child. You know how it works.
By the way, it's 28 years.
Oh, 28. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome.
This past weekend.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did you do anything fun?
Yeah.
What'd you do?
I'm not telling you.
Oh. Did it involve a lemon?
No.
What is going on with Jeffrey Epstein?
Well, Congress passed the bill compelling the public release of all the unclassified DOJ records.
The House.
Yes, the House approved the bill 427-1.
And the one guy,
Representative Clay Higgins from Louisiana.
He's getting crushed. I have no idea why he voted against it, but he is just getting slaughtered, on social media. What possible reason could there have been to vote against releasing that information?
Yeah, I don't know why he voted no. He had his reason, but you're right. Now people are picking on him.
It does really, though, give you some insight into how rotten Washington, D.C. is. Okay, so everybody but one guy votes to do this, and yet when it came to now this is not the discharge petition, right? This is not this is not because that's not coming until December.
Correct. These are the unclassified DOJ records.
Right. Now, think about this, though. The discharge petition, they only got 4 Republicans to vote for or to sign off on that. So they'll have to address that in a little bit. But, like, why are we not allowed to know? This guy's been dead. What, has he been dead 6 years, 5 years?
Yeah, I saw somebody on social media just having a complete meltdown. Why do they have to vote on this? Why do they have to vote at all? Just do it.
Yeah, and it's very.
Why does it have to be a law?
It's the. I think it's the game that appears to be being played with this. We talked about this a little bit yesterday, where whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, or libertarian, apathetic to politics, whatever, every single one of us, I think, would say we all have a vested interest in stamping out human sex trafficking, pedophilia, children being exploited, young women being exploited, whether they're adults or not. And all of this is sort of in play or alleged to be in play in some kind of capacity here. And it's just this game of, hey, you can't release it this way. You got to do it that way. Don't vote for this. You got to vote for that. And it's like, why? That's very bizarre. And it's a really horrible look for all the parties because they keep seemingly it seems like they're posturing for what's the best spin that I can put on this. How does this help me the best?
Yeah, the only thing that I can come up with is why they had to vote on it, why it has to be a law. That is to protect the victims.
Well, okay.
And many of them have already come out, yet they're not saying any of their abusers' names.
Well, and this is what, like, other than the one woman who was abused, who wrote the tell-all and then tragically committed suicide. Yeah, who are these people? Did they not know them? Did they not? Are they obscure? I think that's where the American public is looking at this going, okay, we know this guy did something, right? Because he had this island and he was shipping these girls and we know these girls existed. And so we know he was doing something. We also know he was hyper-connected into very powerful circles. See, he clearly had a relationship with Bill Clinton. He had a relationship with Donald Trump in some capacity. The former Prince Andrew. Like, so we know something was going on. We know it wasn't good. We deserve to know the answers, but nobody, including, it seems like the victims themselves or the alleged victims themselves, can provide a clear-cut, here's who it was, here's who was doing it, here's what was, and then people are just going.
Nobody wants to unless they're forced to.
Well, the mystery that surrounds all this is part of the, like, lure is not the right word, but the intrigue, I guess, is people saying what actually took place here and who did it take place with?
It's obvious. Clearly, Epstein, he was running a sex trafficking operation, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's somebody in
prison
prison
But as this information comes out, though, it's he had a pipeline to the White House, to rich, powerful people, Wall Street, Silicon Valley, professors at Harvard, the Royals. So there's much more than just sex trafficking that's going on there.
Well, no, I mean, he was clearly, you're right. And I think this is, like, we're focused on Jeffrey Epstein because it was so high profile, and then obviously it took on a new life of its own when he allegedly committed suicide and, all of that other stuff. But the idea that really gross, disgusting people have access to people of power and influence, Harvey Weinstein has entered the chat. Hello. Like, this happens all the time. These politicians are in large part surrounded by, I can't say that word, crap bags. They're surrounded by really horrible people. They're surrounded by wealthy individuals, many of them highly flawed individuals in their personal lives, and that's the cesspool that is Washington, D.C. I think Jeffrey Epstein is probably, I'm not going to say it pales in comparison to some of the other people they associate with, but I think if you knew the full stories of some of the people that they accept money from and go to parties with and hang around with, Epstein would probably just be another guy, in many cases, another guy in the line.
One of the many. How did the story go from it's on Pam Bondi's desk to releasing that tranche with the influencers to it's a hoax to it could be national security? Like, which one is it? What's the story?
Well, and that is a part of the intrigue, right? That's what the public wants to know, is how could you make, in the case of Donald Trump, how could you make something an issue for years and say, I'm going to definitively fill in the blank, and then you get in there and you don't do it. That's part of what's been working against Donald Trump is he was so adamant about it. Look, should Joe Biden have released it? Absolutely. Should the Democrats have released it when they had full power of the federal government? Absolutely. And this is in no way in their defense because there's no defense for not doing it. But they didn't make it a campaign issue. Trump made it for years a front and center campaign issue. And so you do wonder, did they not release this stuff because they got in there and realized we don't have it, and now it's going to look like we overpromised and underdelivered? Or are they not releasing it because there's stuff in there that is national, from a national security standpoint, that people think, he was Mossad or whatever? Is that part of it? Or is that the names would be so damaging to both sides that both sides sort of share in this sort of conviction to not let it out there because it'll make everybody look bad? I don't know what it is, and that's why people want to get to the bottom of it.
I do want to make a correction. You had mentioned that it was the House that passed. Both chambers passed it.
So it's now passed the Senate.
It has passed the Senate as well. So now it's going to land on Donald Trump's desk. And he has said that he's going to sign it. The exact timing, that's uncertain, because under the Constitution, the president now has 10 days, excluding Sundays, to sign or veto a bill after it passes the Congress.
It is also sort of a, if you're a high-profile person or a person of trust or certainly a public office holder or, like I said, just somebody of trust, that if you are hit with an allegation that involves something like this, because there are various levels of scandal or allegation or whatever. This is about as bad as something can get. But if you're someone who's is somehow connected to an allegation of scandal involving something like this, and you didn't do anything wrong, the best thing is to just put it all out there, even if it makes you look bad. When you're dealing with human sex trafficking or potentially things like child pornography or pedophilia or whatever, if you're connected to somebody who did something, but you didn't do anything wrong, you just got to take the momentary hit on something like that.
And wait it out.
Because that'll
ride out the storm.
It may look bad for you today. Hey, I was hyper-connected, or in the case of Trump, I was around this guy, or I had a business relationship with him, or whatever. Yeah, okay. It's a news cycle for a day. But then here's the whole truth. I didn't have anything to do with any of this. I saw the guy, I got rid of him, what he was doing or alleged to have done, I got rid of him, blah, blah, blah. And then it runs its course, right? Because there's no evidence you did anything wrong because you didn't do anything wrong. And then you just go about your day and go, I made a bad decision being connected to a creep. Who amongst us in our lives hadn't made a bad decision around somebody we've had a friendship or relationship with or, whatever, right? That runs its course. The problem is so many people have deflected and denied and stymied on this that now the American public keeps saying there has to be more. There has to be more. There has to be people they're protecting. And it's just fed itself, and it may be far bigger than it actually is because of the way it's been handled.
So the Speaker of the House came out and he said that he was disappointed that the Senate approved the bill without making any changes. He wants to redact things, and now they're saying it's national security. But I thought it was a hoax just a few days ago.
Well, that's the problem. Nobody can keep their story straight. And the other problem is when you get something like this and it gets so big, it starts to get confusing to people. That we've kind of reached a point now where it's almost Kennedy assassination level. Think about all the documents that they've released now about Kennedy. That basically everything's out there. There's nothing that proves anything other than Lee Harvey Oswald, refutes the story. There's no concrete anything that's been released that refutes the prevailing official story, which is Lee Harvey Oswald was the gunman who assassinated John F. Kennedy. But it doesn't matter at this point because it's been so long and there was so much was deflected and denied and pushed back on that it takes on a life of its own where people just form their own opinion. And I sort of think that's where Epstein is, that you may not get some smoking gun of, hey, Bill Clinton was on this flight and this happened, or this guy was on this flight and this happened. But because it's been in such a shadow of secrecy for so long,
people think
something happened, and you're not going to convince them of otherwise.
Okay, well, Donald Trump, he was in the Oval Office, and he did mention Bill Clinton and also Larry Summers.
As far as the Epstein files I have nothing to do with Jeffrey Epstein. I threw him out of my club many years ago because I thought he was a sick pervert. And I guess I turned out to be right. But you know who does have? Bill Clinton. Larry Summers, who ran Harvard, was with him every single night, every single weekend. They lived together. They went to his island many times. I never did. Andrew Weissman, I hear. All these guys were friends of his. You don't even talk about those people.
So Larry Summers, by the way, addressed it in one of his classes. He's a teacher at Harvard, professor at Harvard, and has said he's going to step back now. But he also resigned from his board of directors position at OpenAI.
Yeah, well, it'll be fascinating to see what comes out of it. But are we done with what does Epstein's unit look like? Are we done with that story? Have we moved on past that? Have you got your fill?
I've moved on.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Very good.
It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Kendall and Casey.
Trying to get out of the grocery store to purchase anything that resembles a week's worth of food.
Mm-hmm.
Between the Walmart and Costco trip, it was like almost $280. How is this sustainable for most normal people?
Well, you're going to have to start taking out a 50-year loan for groceries. And, of course, we've all got those utility bills.
Are they high? Is there something going on with utilities?
Kendall and Casey. Weekdays 9 till noon on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
Looking for a cozy spot to relax, work, or grab your coffee to go? LC Coffee House in Noblesville, Indiana has you covered. Try our indulgent affogato, a sweet blend of espresso and ice cream. Or sample our coffee flights to discover your perfect brew. In a rush, our drive-thru is ready to serve you fast and fresh. Need a space to collaborate? We offer meeting rooms perfect for co-working. Whether you're grabbing a quick drink or spending the day with us, LC Coffee House is the place to be.
Remember lining up before dawn on Black Friday? Those days might be gone, but the excitement isn't. Great Lakes Honda of Fishers is keeping Black Friday alive all month long and kicking off Happy Honda Days. This month only, lease a 2026 CRV LX all-wheel drive for $359 a month for 39 months with 0 down and registered to win a Yeti cooler. Visit Great Lakes Honda of Fishers off State Road 37 today. Tax not included with approved credit through Honda Financial. In-stock new Hondas only, not combinable with other offers. $10K a year. All fees and first payment due at signing. Offer ends November 30th. See dealer for details.
Garage Doors of Indianapolis is everything that's right about Central Indiana. They've been locally family-owned for 50 years, helping our local economy remain strong by employing 70 families. Garage Doors of Indianapolis is proud to do business right here in the great state of Indiana. They're a conservative-minded company that shares our values and stands by their products and services. You can call Garage Doors of Indianapolis today for service today. 875-4577, 875-4577, or visit doorstoday.com.
Do you remember what was happening in America? Families struggling, billions in wasteful spending. But Senator Todd Young fought back. He voted for working family tax cuts, and Senator Young voted to crack down on waste, fraud, and abuse, saving taxpayers billions. So call Senator Todd Young at 202-224-5623 and thank him for supporting the Working Families Tax Cut. Paid for by American Prosperity Alliance.
Honey, that flu keeping you up? Did you take NyQuil Intense Flu?
Nah, I got this. Okay, I don't got this.
Yeah, you need NyQuil Intense Flu.
Undo your flu with NyQuil Intense Flu. NyQuil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms so you can sleep.
You do got this.
NyQuil Intense Flu. The nighttime sniffling, aching fever. Best sleep with the flu medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Transform your bath and double the value. It's B Windows Black Friday bath sale. Buy one bath, get one free. Plus no interest and no payments for 24 months. Call now or visit bwindow.com.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. If you're living with a chronic condition like diabetes, chronic heart failure, or a cardiovascular disorder, you might count on extra support with your health care too. That's why United Healthcare offers chronic special needs plans with extra benefits and a large provider network to choose from. Visit uhc.com/Medicare to find out if you qualify today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Indiana can count on. Provider network may vary in local market.
This hour powered by Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's Diamond Engagement Ring Store.
Okay, so Michelle Obama is saying something.
She said Americans are not ready to elect a woman president. It's nice that she knows the difference.
It's Kendall Casey, by the way. I'm Rob. That's Casey. The Obamas sort of seem like they're not a thing anymore, right? like it's sort of like America has moved on from them.
Yes.
I mean, look, I get if you're a Democrat candidate and you have an event where Barack Obama is the headliner or whatever, people are going to show up. He's a former president. He was, Biden was such a disaster. Like, the Democrats probably don't even claim him, so he's probably the last Democrat president that gets claimed. So I'm not saying from the standpoint of nobody would be there, but it doesn't seem there's like the aura or the special anymore. It used to be, the Obamas, whatever they're doing, it's turning to gold and it's amazing. It seems like those days are over.
Well, what is he doing these days? I don't see him as often. And every time I see her, whether it's on her podcast or as a guest on somebody else's show, she's just complaining about something.
Well, it is fascinating because you and I have talked about this for years. There's every so often, there's some celebrity that ponders a run for public office, whether it was, The Rock is going to run for president, or Oprah is going to run for president, or it was, the most recent one, Matthew McConaughey is going to run for governor of Texas. And they don't pull the trigger on it because eventually you got to have a position on something. And the hype, it's sort of like all these college quarterbacks. Arch Manning's going to be the greatest quarterback of all time. His autograph is selling for $700. And remember, for the season, I was like,
what if he's not that great?
Everybody's like, you're crazy. And then it turned out he wasn't very good. And that kid from LSU wasn't very good this year. And like other than Mendoza from IU, all the tippy top projected quarterbacks have been Stinksville. And that's an example of the hype. The hype is ridiculous. And then you got to see them play it out on the field, and you can never match the hype almost no matter how good you actually are. The same thing is true for politicians. That's why the celebrities don't pull the trigger, because they know they will immediately alienate half of their base. Obama was like the first sort of celebrity politician in the sense of he wasn't a celebrity before running, but the media made him a celebrity. Like, this guy is bigger than life, right? Like, he's going to soothe the world. He
gave one great speech, and all of a sudden, everyone loved him.
And then he had to govern. And once he started governing, he just sort of governed as some regular liberal with bad ideas that didn't help the country. And so my point in all of that is, the hype with these politicians, why it amazes me these people get fired up about politicians anymore. Meeting them, this is great. They're just failures, right? They're just people who let you down. And I think with Obama, time has started to bear that out.
Them on paper is better than what they are in reality. That's why you should always have low expectations.
I wish we had the audio to this. I didn't think about it until we got into it. But a phenomenal movie, I don't know if you've ever seen it, it's called High Fidelity. John Cusack owns a record store.
Yeah.
And Kev, have you ever seen the movie High Fidelity with John Cusack?
Yeah, I've seen bits and pieces.
Great movie, early 2000s or late 90s. Young Jack Black in the movie with him. He owns this record store, and there's all sorts of famous people in this movie. And he gets this idea that his whole life is records and music, and he gets this idea that he has this like fever dream, and it actually involves he's talking to Bruce Springsteen, like the real guy. And he comes up with this idea that he can move forward with his life if he makes a list of his 5 favorite all-time girlfriends, and he goes back and he finds them and he tracks them down and he tells them this long goodbye, like how much they meant to him, and I'm moving on with my life, and I got to get closure on my all-time top 5. And Springsteen's listening to him strumming the guitar and he goes, it'll make them feel better. And Springsteen goes, it'll make you feel better. And that's sort of like where we're at with this. Like, it make you feel better.
So Michelle Obama, she said that we're not ready to elect a woman president. Don't waste her time. She cited Kamala Harris's loss to Donald Trump as evidence. She's been out promoting her new book called The Look. And the book is about fashion, beauty, and the scrutiny she endured during her time as First Lady.
Isn't the victim mentality of these people just simply unbelievable? Like, you were the First Lady of the United States. You were afforded all these riches and then the fortune that came after that because of these book deals, movie deals. You live in all these houses. Your party was asking you to run for president of the United States.
You thought, I remember when we had that conversation and I said, they're going to pull Joe Biden. He's not going to be the candidate. And you said, it's going to be Michelle Obama. And I was like, I don't think it's going to be her, but I know it's not going to be Joe Biden.
And then you say, okay, well, there have been 2 women who have run for president. They have both been major party nominees for president. They have both lost, not because they were women, but because they were just horrible candidates. Hillary Clinton, before Kamala Harris was the most unlikable person in recent history to ever have a major party nomination for president. It's the same reason Al Gore didn't win the presidency against Bush. The stain of the Clintons stays with them. The country does not want more of the Clintons. With Kamala Harris, she did not separate herself from Joe Biden.
Right.
She was a continuation of Biden. It had nothing to do with her being a woman. It had to do with the fact that people said, we have seen the condition of the country. We're once again going to try something different with Trump. Again, just like the last time, it doesn't appear to be all that different.
Well, with Kamala Harris, it also is she didn't come across as the sharpest knife in the drawer.
No, a woman could totally be president of the United States. I would totally vote for a woman for president if she were the best candidate, espousing views of liberty and freedom and limited government and lower taxes and paying down our national debt, getting inflation under control. Like, women can do anything in society now. And the idea that, like, she's using that as some sort of crutch for a victim impact statement is just ridiculous.
It's interesting because she wrote in her book that women in politics are often judged on appearance rather than leadership ability. And she said that she wants to reclaim her story after years of intense public analysis of her clothing and hair. But I go back to every time I see her on any podcast or any show, she's talking about her clothing and hair. Her book is about fashion and beauty.
Are you saying she's a hypocrite? Is that what you're implying?
Yeah.
Are you besmirching the good name of Michelle Obama?
Is it a good name?
Well, I just come back to, I think you've reached a point with them, just like with any of these politicians or these athletes or whatever, where they didn't meet the expectation. He was a two-term president, again, because the Republicans were so bad. Romney was such a bad candidate, or he would not have even been reelected. And he didn't really accomplish anything good for the country. His signature thing, Obamacare, is a disaster to this day. And so outside of the people who are like...
See 43 days of government shutdown.
Well, right. And people just say, I think average person goes, yeah, you just were kind of a guy.
Mm-hmm.
And once you kind of become a guy... to those people, they need to be worshiped. They need to be elevated. They need to be, oh, they're here. Thank God they're here. The world is going to be better. And most people have just seen through that with the Obamas.
It is Kendall Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Thankfully, they're all right. I'm Jarrett Lewis. Here's what's trending at 11:30. 4 people are shot during a traffic stop in Clinton County Tuesday night. A deputy pulled a car over, and 2 Kirkland Town marshals came to help. Then someone outside that car started shooting.
A situation like this is difficult for the law enforcement community.
State Police Sergeant Jeremy Pierce says everyone who was shot is alive and expected to be okay, including the 2 people from the car. Only 1 marshal needed to go to the hospital. A man is dead following a crash on Indy's near northeast side early this morning. IMPD says the man hit a pole while driving his truck. A passenger was also injured. Governor Braun still hoping Senate Republicans will come around to redistricting after Senate President Pro Tem Rod Brace says they will not be meeting this year. And the latest college football playoff rankings showing nothing new for Indiana and Notre Dame. The Hoosiers are still number 2. Notre Dame is ranked 9th. I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hi, I'm Andy, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. As a product development manager, I make sure every piece of fine jewelry at Shane Company is meticulously designed for quality. From 14-karat gold chains, pearl necklaces, diamond studs, and of course, dream engagement rings. We know you can get your holiday gifts anywhere these days, but knowing your loved one's gift was crafted by master jewelers? It's a difference everyone can see and feel, no matter the price. All of our fine jewelry begins with a vision by our in-house designers. Then, we ensure each piece meets our high-quality standards every step of the way, including the smallest details. It's why our jewelry comes with our all-inclusive, free lifetime warranty that covers everything and doesn't cost a dime. At Shane Company, there's no shortcuts, just craftsmanship. Because a friend wants your fine jewelry to be nothing short of perfect. Come see for yourself. Visit us in-store or at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
We know that around the holidays, things don't always go as planned. That's why Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. So make memories this season in a Hubler quality pre-owned vehicle. Over 2,000 to choose from. And buy with 0 down. Yes, 0 down delivers. Every Hubler Q-certified vehicle is covered by a 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. It includes a 128-point vehicle inspection, plus a free Carfax history report. Plus, we'll pay top dollar for your trade. Bring Hubler your old car for an immediate appraisal. No matter where your plans take you, spread cheer all season long, knowing Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. Happy holidays, Indiana. Visit drivehubler.com or any of our 13 convenient locations. Select models, approved credit. Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
Hey guys, it's Rob from my friends at We Grow Hair Indy. 317-522-2995. That's the phone number. 317-522-2995. If you're looking in the mirror and saying, hey, I need to get my confidence back, I'm a little light on top. 317-522-2995. You schedule your totally free, no hassle, no obligation consultation. Darren and the gang, they're top-notch guys. They'll take a look at what you got going on, and then they'll give you some suggestions on how to get that confidence back. Then it's up to you. In the meantime, you can check out some other folks who made the choice to head over to We Grow Hair Indy and get their confidence back by checking out WeGrowHairIndy.com. WeGrowHairIndy.com, 317-522-2995. Be sure to tell them Rob sent you.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. If you're living with a chronic condition like diabetes, chronic heart failure, or a cardiovascular disorder, you might count on extra support with your health care too. That's why United Healthcare offers chronic special needs plans with extra benefits and a large provider network to choose from. Visit uhc.com/Medicare to find out if you qualify today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Indiana can count on. Provider network may vary in local market.
Truck drivers, wherever you want to take your driving career in 2026, Schneider has an opportunity for you. Our huge selection of driving jobs means you can get the home time that suits your schedule. Choose from daily, weekly, monthly, or sometime in between. Plus, Schneider drivers can choose from dedicated, intermodal, dry van, and tanker options. Don't wait to upgrade your career before the new year. Search jobs and apply now at SchneiderJobs.com. That's SchneiderJobs.com.
Food insecurity is an urgent problem, one that impacts real Hoosiers. You can help today. Gleaners needs donations. Your contribution goes further with Gleaners. For every $10 you give, Gleaners leverages their resources to turn your $10 into $90 worth of groceries for families who desperately need help right now. Your gift benefits local community members, and every dollar counts. Gleaners also needs volunteers now to help with warehouse distribution. Go to gleaners.org and donate or get involved today.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet, so make a free call to Page Publishing. Turn your book idea into publishing gold.
800-215-6818. 800-215-6818. That's 800-215-6818.
Express the heartwarming message that says love is about being together. Let a Pierce Jewelers diamond engagement ring be the symbol that says, I love you. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
Tune in Saturdays 9 to 1 for the Home and Garden Show for advice and fun. Brought to you by Michaelis. Water, storms, fire, and wet basements. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it.
Let the song play.
You don't remember what we're going to talk about, do you?
Oh, I was listening to State House Happenings. I'm paying any attention to you during the break. I have no attention whatsoever.
Typical.
My goal is to get out of here as soon as this show ends, and I got to upload State House Happenings to the masses. By the way, would you like to hear my headline for State House Happenings?
Yes.
State House Happenings, Braun implodes as Senate rejects redistricting again.
There you go. Well, tell everybody when they can hear State House Happenings.
Well, Sunday mornings are on WIBC, but then, of course, I get the podcast up during the middle of the week, which people love, and so I'll have that up and tweet it out to post it up and anything else. But anyway, no, I wasn't making any attention to you whatsoever.
Based on the headline, you're talking about redistricting.
Oh, yeah.
In State House Happenings.
I'm just taking a giant dump all over Braun for 30 minutes.
So not much different than our very first segment on the Kendall and Casey show.
No, what are we doing? What's going going on?
I wanted to talk about the all-electric F-150 Lightning.
Did I have like a confused look on my face?
I knew. I could just tell you had no idea what the topics were.
What's that have to do with Cyndi Lauper?
Absolutely nothing.
Oh, you're just playing that for fun?
That's just a song Kevin
You just
picked.
did that for me?
There was another story you had that was money related.
What was it?
Yeah, that's true. The Thanksgiving.
But I wasn't sure if you were going to get to that next. Or...
Oh, yeah, we're going to get to it?
Do you want to talk about the Ford executives considering canceling the all-electric F-150 Lightning truck?
Oh, I don't care. Whatever you want to do. Doesn't matter to me.
It was projected to sell up to 150,000 units annually, but no, only 33,000 were sold last year.
Well, look, people didn't want an electric truck?
Mm-hmm.
You mean like a truck that hauls things around and is heavy duty and, requires really getting down in the muck and the mire? People didn't want an electric truck?
Yeah, there was low consumer demand for this.
Who would have
And
seen that?
They also said that electric trucks are difficult to price competitively. So these couple things combined, they're considering nixing it. Although they are considering investing in a new electric truck. It just won't be the Ford F-150.
Well, look, these car companies are largely doing this because they've been subsidized by the government to do it.
There you go.
They're not doing it because people want them. Now, they get forced into them, tax breaks, whatever. But they're not doing this stuff out of the goodness of their heart. They're doing this because we, the taxpayers, have essentially paid for these for-profit companies to make money off of it. That's why they've done it.
Not only that, but there's the lack of the EV charging stations. Do you remember with the Inflation Reduction Act? They were going to have 50,000 charging stations all over the country. No, it didn't happen.
Why not?
There was one report that said they built 8.
They were going to build how many?
500,000, 500,000.
And they built 8.
And they built 8.
They stopped at 8?
They wanted to have 500,000 by 2030, and they didn't quite get there.
I do that all the time with like yard projects, and I'm like, I'm going to get this done today. And then I get the equivalent of 8 into 500,000. Like I might dig a hole.
Yeah.
Or like I might start to dig a hole. And then I'm like,
nah. What did I start this for? I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
That's kind of what happened with the EV charging stations. All right, Kevin, you wanted to talk about money. Average spending. This is from Study Finds. Americans celebrating Thanksgiving are expected to spend $952 on food, drinks, decorations, travel, and miscellaneous items.
No way.
Yes.
No.
Cost breakdown. Are you ready for this?
No, wait. You're saying the average American for Thanksgiving is going to spend $900?
$952.
No way.
Yes. $175 on food, $110 on beverages, decorations, $83, miscellaneous category, $291.
Whoa, you can't just say, what the hell's miscellaneous with Thanksgiving if it's not food or drinks?
I don't know. Maybe they need to go buy a new folding table
what
for the kids'
size
table.
Thanksgiving are we dealing with here? What is this, the Moselle Sanders operation over here? What are we doing?
So,
wait. $175 for food. Is nobody else helping? Everybody coming to your house and like, hey, Ethel will take care of all of it?
There are some generational differences when it comes to cost sharing. Baby boomers, 1/3 believe that the host should cover all the costs.
Oh, no way.
When it comes to Gen Z, 1/3 say, no, we should split up the costs among everybody equally.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's like, but don't people bring stuff? Isn't that the customary thing? If you're going to a large Thanksgiving, hey, can I bring anything?
Yeah, typically you kind of divide it out, right? Whoever is the worst cook has to bring the paper products.
Well, like my wife's grandmother, she's phenomenal, and she just loves to do all this stuff and handle it and da-da-da-da-da. So we just stay out of the way and like, can I help you set the table or whatever? But the offer is there, right? Can I bring a Twinkie or, whatever to help with the there's no way.
This is according to Study Finds. I'm not making this up.
But where, okay, let's think through this logically. What'd they say? The average Thanksgiving meal is what, $9 or something like that? Is that what we came up with? $10, something like that? You have 17 people at your house?
I guess you're having more of an open house or a very large family.
You're just buying the whole block in. See, I'm calling bullcrap at this. And what's the miscellaneous? What could possibly...
Yeah, they've already covered food, beverages, decorations, and even travel. So what would be miscellaneous? Like I said, unless you got to go buy like an extra table or folding chairs or...
Yeah, I'm gutting this whole study. I'm just picking it apart here because I don't know what miscellaneous for Thanksgiving would be. There's no costume.
35 crafts, arts and crafts. I don't know. 35% of Americans are reducing their budget by an average of 41%. They're using strategies like smaller gatherings, potluck-style meals, like what you mentioned,
Yeah.
cheaper ingredients, or they're skipping travel altogether. Now, there was this woman on Fox. She's a co-host of the Dave Ramsey Show.
Oh.
You're familiar with that?
Uh-huh.
And she was giving tips on...
Ooh, I'm debt-free, that guy.
Yeah, she was giving tips on how to save money on the holidays.
Budget, budget, budget. You need a plan. Also remember, adults don't need gifts, okay? Focus on the people in your life who are age 3 to 18. Grandma doesn't need slippers. If they don't live by you, don't get them a gift. Now's not the time to spend and break the bank sending packages across the country, Dana. Focus on the people in your life, ages 3 to 18. That's my 30 seconds for you.
I'm exempt.
You're out.
I got to do anything for my kid.
I don't have to buy anything for you.
Nothing for you.
Nothing
little
for Kevin.
Baby tyrant. See how good we did on that segment? I had no idea what we were talking about.
You weren't paying attention at all.
Think if I actually tried.
Yeah, Abdul's going to join it. Yeah, think. Abdul's going to join us next. It's Kendall Casey on 93 WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel show back at it this afternoon. Tony Kennett, the Tonus from the Daily Signal. He's calling in, plus the latest from the Indiana State House. A lot of drama. 93 WIBC.
You know exactly why you need to remodel that kitchen of yours. The space, it's outdated. You can't move around like you used to. It doesn't work like it needs to. You want to entertain and you want to improve your quality of life. This can happen, just not with the kitchen you have. You need to call Booher Remodeling. BOOHER. BooherRemodeling.com. They can take that old kitchen that's deteriorating and broken down and turn it into something that works for you and your family. Their 5-step design process from start to finish, the consultation, the preliminary design, the design development, getting all the documents together, and then getting it done. The best materials, the most skilled craftsmen in Central Indiana. Booher Remodeling will guide you through the entire process, starting with the free initial consultation, and they stand behind their work with a 2-year workmanship guarantee. Create that new kitchen. Design experts can use an existing layout or begin completely from scratch. Talk to Booher Remodeling today. BOOHER. BooherRemodeling.com. That's BooherRemodeling.com.
It's not just cancer care, it's the complete care you get at Hendricks.
And you can feel that spirit of excellence, trying to do what's best from a medical standpoint, but also trying to affect the patient and their family as you would a family member.
Hendricks Care is trying to meet the patient where they are. You know your body better than anyone else.
Do the cancer screening early.
An ounce of prevention versus a pound of cure.
Learn about health screenings at hendricks.org/cancer.
Hi, I'm Scott Wilson, third-generation owner of Wilson Farm Market, just 15 minutes north of 465 on 31. If you are looking for your source of homegrown, locally made, know where your food's coming from, we are your spot. We have hand-dipped ice cream, 130 different kinds of cheese. We fry chicken, just a little bit of everything, a foodie's heaven. Wilson Farm Market, where good taste runs in the family. Just 15 minutes north of 465, right on US 31.
Attention, Indiana homeowners. Are you tired of avoiding your wet basement? Hi, I'm Mike Smith with Swainco Crawl Space and Basement Repair, your real, local, Indiana family-owned experts. Imagine all the possibilities of a guaranteed dry basement, a cozy new family room, a home gym, or even a new office. And with no interest, no payment financing, you don't have to break the bank to do it. Make the most of your basement today. Call Swainco 317-407-1868 or swaincollc.com.
Another accident? What happened?
Our truck driver got cut off, and they're getting blamed. No witnesses, no proof, and insurance is skyrocketing.
Wait, our drivers shouldn't take the blame for this?
Exactly why we need Samsara. Their AI dashcam show real-time video proving when our drivers aren't at fault.
So we protect our drivers and avoid false claims?
Yep. Companies using Samsara have exonerated their drivers and saved millions on insurance.
Protect your drivers and your bottom line at samsara.com. Samsara operates smarter.
At Advent, we help sleep apnea sufferers avoid the CPAP machine by getting your nose and throat working with our unique Advent approach that you won't find elsewhere.
WIBC cares, and if you or someone you care about needs food assistance, we have resources for you, including food distribution locations with an interactive map. Also, learn how you can make a difference for friends and neighbors in need, all at WIBC.com.
JTV, Jewelry Television. With 80,000 jewelry looks, we're kind of a big deal. Even bigger with new lines of designer handbags, fragrances, and more. And biggest of all, because you could win a 7-night stay in Bali, spending money, and thousands worth of JTV jewelry, making you kind of a big deal. Enter by December 7th at jtv.com/sweepstakes. No purchase necessary. Then watch JTV on TV or shop jtv.com for big holiday deals.
I'm Dwight Freeney, and my friend Eli is alive today thanks to someone who said yes to organ donation. When Eli was just 12 years old, he received a liver transplant that saved his life because someone just like you said yes to being an organ donor. His story and many others like his are why I have teamed up with Indiana Donor Network and Donate Life Indiana to help end the wait for life-saving organs. You can help. Say yes to being an organ donor next time you are at the BMV.
WIBC cares, and if you or someone you care about needs food assistance, we have resources for you, including food distribution locations with an interactive map. Also, learn how you can make a difference for friends and neighbors in need, all at WIBC.com.
I am a patriot, and I love my country, because my country is
I can't think of a better way to wrap up this program talking about the complete and utter failures of Mike Braun. Kendall Casey Show. Rob Casey's here. Look who it is. Author, broadcaster, provocateur, owner-operator of IndyPolitics.org. Abdul Hakim Shabazz. Hello.
And paper millionaire, too, by the way.
Yeah.
On paper.
Yeah,
just
on paper. Right? It's always on paper. You and Elon Musk.
Okay, I'll give you that one.
Okay, so you were at the State House yesterday. It sort of seemed like one of those wacky days in the history of Indiana politics and government. You essentially had as close to like a complete meltdown as you're going to get from the governor. What a sad state of affairs for Mike Braun.
It didn't end well. Whether it was Mike Braun, whether it was Micah Beckwith, whether it was the baker's dozen of red for redistricting protesters that showed up in the rotunda demanding redistricting. You know, after they stood up straight, got off their walkers and had their hearing aids, adjusted a little bit. Like I said, I've covered politics for 30 years, 10 in Illinois, 20 here. I've never seen anything quite like this, and I've seen some stuff in my day.
Okay, so let's talk about the response of the governor, because it's one thing for something to not go your way. It's another thing to fight. But the language he's using, like, I'm going to compel, I can't remember the exact quote, but something like he was going to compel the Senate to come back to work. And doing this going, you can't make them do anything, dude. Do you not know how this operates? They'll come when they want to come.
When the governor said, I'm going to compel them to come, it felt like the scene of The Exorcist. I compel you to leave.
What's he doing? Doesn't he know how ridiculous that sounds and that looks?
And the thing is, you can't really compel them to do anything anymore now because session starts on Organization Day.
That's right. We're out of the special session.
Right. That's the first official day. And so now they can basically stay and do whatever they want, period. Now, the speaker, Todd Houston, saved a couple of weeks in December, just in case something does happen and they need to come back. But Rob Ray, the Senate base, like, no, we're not coming back. We're coming back on January 5th.
Because this stupid quote about we're in the first inning of this game, it's like, dude, it is almost December. The filing starts in January. You don't even have a map. What delusional planet are you living on, Grandpa, where you think the game has just begun? At the very best, it's the bottom of the ninth, and it's 8-2 with 2 outs.
And it's the World Series. It's the last game of the World Series.
It's just like what?
It's 8-2, bottom of the ninth, 1 out left to go. It's the last game of the World Series, and okay, we're really gonna get him now. Yeah. We're gonna come back. Like, oh my God.
Yeah, what? Who is advised? Isn't there anybody in there who can say, just please stop, Mr. Governor? You're making yourself. It's great for us. It's great. The implosion and meltdown of Braun over an issue, by the way, that most people don't care about, and those that do don't want it, is great for our show. Nothing makes me happier than seeing this guy go down. But somebody's got to stop him.
Well, the thing is, I think. Here's what I think is going on in the governor's cabinet right now, is that there are institutionalists, people who've been there for a while, like, governor, this is a bad idea, don't do it, But then there's the other people like, no, governor, stay, fight, stand your ground. Well, you can stand your ground until they bury you in it, I guess, but I don't see, I did not see how this is going to end well. I said from day one, this is not going to happen. I was right. Okay, there we go. Rob admitted it, which means my day that was worth all this just for you to tell me.
Well, and we talked. Well, but I was right with you, right? I mean, you and I have said the same thing from the beginning. And one of the things we talked about at State House happenings, and Casey, I got to this earlier. This ruling in Texas, which ultimately it could get overturned at the Supreme Court. I think it will, but it is playing out exactly as we had said with Marion County, which is the Texas maps have been struck down by a Trump judge, by the way, because of their impact on Black and Hispanic voters, which is exactly what we said could happen with Marion County, which is part of the reason those guys, Bray in the Senate, didn't want to do it.
They didn't want to do it for a number of different reasons. And when they took the vote to start for the day they're going to come back, that kind of gave you sort of an idea of what the vote was going to break down and look like. A clear number of Republicans, a clear number of Democrats. Because I want to say the vote was like 37 to 17 or something along those. Something along those.
I mean,
lines.
they didn't even get half of the Republicans to go along with this, right? I mean, it was right, almost right at half. But I don't think they got to half of the Republicans want to stay and fight on this, and that's why it was so weird when Braun was on Hammer and Nigel yesterday talking about, well, almost half of Bray's caucus was against him. Well, the majority were for him. And that means they were against you, Skippy. That's such the grasping at straws on this, trying to find something to hang your hat on, to me just makes him look pathetic.
It didn't help. Here it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, less than half.
Yeah, and so I find it bizarre. Okay, then the other side of this is they have the rally, and you were at the State House yesterday. They have the rally at the State House, and maybe 30-ish people. I mean, the head counts seemed to between 30 and 50 people show up.
I'd say 29 and a half if you count Diego.
It's, I was going to tell you to be nice, but you said it about Diego, so it's fine. Yeah. Keep going. It's the same people, right? Like the hardcore people. Our property tax rally, all sorts of new faces who don't usually show up to things. Didn't do any good in the end. But it was all sorts of new people like, hey, that person doesn't usually come to stuff. They were telling us, I've never been to one of these things before. This was a pathetically small crowd, and it's the same people. And if I'm a lawmaker, I'm looking at this going, when does this supposed large group of people who wants this show up? Because they don't show up in polls, they don't show up at town halls, and now they don't show up to this. Where are they?
And then I remind people that in our business, optics matter. And so if you're gonna have a small crowd like that, get a small room.
That's right.
But they did right in the rotunda, which I was like, really?
Yeah, bad. And you got Micah and Diego as basically the spokespeople for this. If you were to pick the two worst people in the State House that you could possibly have to say, who would be the best to influence these lawmakers to do something, it'd be those two chuckleheads. And look at what you got.
Absolutely nothing. And it was even funnier because they're on the second floor, which is the first floor in the State House. But on the rail where the House and Senate are, all the lobbyists are just kind of looking down like, is that the crowd? I'm like, yeah, that's the crowd. Like, kind of,
yeah,
seems kind of small. Like, where's my binoculars? I need to see what's going on. I'm like, yeah, that's the crowd.
I think that's the other takeaway. What's Micah without WIBC? Nothing. He ain't nothing without this show and WIBC. That was a pathetic crowd. It was embarrassing. All right, so does this end? I mean, at some point, Rod Bray's got to stand up for himself. I'm loath to say something nice about Rod Bray, but he's been very nice to Braun so far through this. At some point, doesn't he have to say enough out of you, Grandpa, and put him in his place?
I think they did it. I think Rod did it by basically saying we're going to just schedule this. He did the worst he could do to someone like a Mike Braun. You can ignore him.
Yeah.
Because in a nutshell, that's what they did when they took the vote to come back on January 5th. Like that, there's your redistricting vote right there. Nobody wants it. Have a nice day. We will gavel in on the fall gavel on January 5th at 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Find him over at indypolitics.org. Abdul Hakim Shabazz, thank you.
Thank you.
It's going to do it for us today. Thank you to Kevin. Great job as always. Casey, and most importantly, you, the listener. You are the most important part. Without you, there is no us. Stick around. Tony Katz coming up next. Kendall Casey Show, 93 WIBC.
Judy loves her fall in Indy, but she doesn't like the paint, so she called Rhino Shield.
The house that Rhino Shield did for my husband and I, after having the house painted with kind of usual house paint, I was seeing cracks appearing about every 3 years and just wasn't very satisfied with that.
Rhino Shield's a ceramic coating specifically formulated for our unique climate.
I can't speak highly enough about the Rhino Shield crew. They also were great at working with me to get the exact right color because I was very particular.
Indy, you too can have the guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield right now for 15% off the regular price.
I would not hesitate to call Rhino Shield, and I am just thrilled to recommend Rhino Shield to my friends and neighbors and family.
Here's Rhino Shield's Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl.
Go Rhino.
Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
WIBC cares, and if you or someone you care about needs food assistance, we have resources for you, including food distribution locations with an interactive map. Also, learn how you can make a difference for friends and neighbors in need, all at WIBC.com.
An official message from Medicare.
Couple more minutes, and we'll start this month's book club.
You know, I usually love a plot twist, but this year, I'm comparing my options during Medicare open enrollment.
You can't assume your current health or drug plan is the best one for you.
And you got to make sure your drugs are covered. That's important.
So is saving money.
Review all your options at Medicare.gov. Open enrollment ends December 7th. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Woke radical liberals are screwing up this country. But Senator Jim Banks is fighting back. He backed one big, beautiful tax cut for working families, ending Social Security taxes for nearly all seniors, and taxes on tips and overtime gone. So call Senator Jim Banks at 202-224-4814 and thank him for backing working family tax cuts and putting America first. Paid for by American Prosperity Alliance.
Blow sediment and gunk out of your well, plus a 6-point inspection and 30% off all of it. Wow. C&J, great systems, great people, 317-852-WELL.
It's B Windows' biggest sale of the year. Get up to 68% off plus no interest, no payments for 24 months. Call now or go to bwindow.com.
Trust me.
On the level, on the go. 93 WIBC Indianapolis.
Coming up.
So the next chances for rain are late tomorrow.
We are going to move as quickly as possible.
She did it. She paved the way for the survivors.